Here we are, week 3. We back in the swing of things now, Browns fans. You know, it's not new anymore. It's not a chaotic week. Pretty normal week for the Cleveland Browns here going into this game. So we'll see what happens. Jed Wills is back, right? That's the big thing. Jed Wills is back, and that's going to be important because Brian Burns is back for the New York Giants. I believe he's making his New York Giant debut today. So all these things are here for the Browns day. Browns in their home brown uniforms. They haven't wore the white ones yet because they were wearing the brown jerseys to start the year. And then they wore the brown jerseys on the road against Jacksonville. Defense is going to be out there first.
2 degrees. Beautiful afternoon in Cleveland. The Browns win the toss. They defer. Dustin Hopkins will get things started with the dynamic kickoff. Takes it out in the end zone.
Oh, good tackle. Oh, fumble! Oh, did the Browns get it? Yes, they did. What a start. Wow. Hey, they didn't get the special teams fumble last week, but they got it this week. Wow. Grant Delpit got on top of it. What a start. Browns in scoring position. Wow. Is that a fumble? Let's double check it. Yes, that is. Browns football. Wow. Well, couldn't ask for a better start, y'all. Rex Fortune says, just want to hang out and mod the chat. Gonna head to work in an hour. At least I get the lobby TV so I can watch football at work at the same time. That's awesome. Wow. Wow, what a start. Let's finish it now.
They start from the Giants 24. Deshaun Watson.
50-50 ball. Coops got it. Did he get in? Wow. Is that a touchdown? I don't think he's slumping anymore. What a start to the game. Oh, my God, what a start to this game. Wow, you get the fumble on the kick return. Let's make sure he's in here. 1, 2. Yeah, that's 2. He got it the first step. He got it in. 1, 2. Yeah. That's 2. You got to count the step when he gets possession. 1, 2.
Got the right foot down initially. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Wow. If that's the start the Browns are on, this is crazy.
So let's see. Their control with the right.
Right there, 1, 2. It's close.
Scoring plays are reviewed. The touchdown.
That's going to be close because it bounced off his helmet. They confirmed it. Browns up. Wow. They confirmed it. What a start. What a start to this game.
Just 11 seconds in. Following a turnover by the Giants on the opening kickoff.
And extra point's good. Wow.
7-0 Cleveland.
I'm not going to lie to you. Legit might be the fastest start to a Cleveland Browns game I've ever experienced. Because not only do you not start, like the Browns still have the second half advantage, but not only do you get that fumble, you get it in scoring range, and then immediately Deshaun Watson throws a deep ball downfield to Amari Cooper to score a touchdown. I mean, you talk about tackling multiple narratives in one hitch right here, right? The Browns didn't get that that kick return fumble last week because of a penalty. It got called back. Now you get it back this week, and then we were worried about the deep ball, worried about Amari Cooper all week, right? Can the Browns throw the ball deep? Can Amari Cooper, is he cooked? And then you get Amari Cooper deep ball to Deshaun Watson, and that's just an incredible start here. Wow.
Since 2005, and that's the way to get the crowd.
Somebody said, what about the Steelers playoff game? The only thing I would say that disagree with the Steelers playoff game is that this was like the Browns actively doing something, right? The Steelers playoff game was a result of the Browns just benefiting from the Steelers' own natural buffoonery. But this one right here, I mean, the Browns, they did both of these things. They made the throw, they made the catch, they got the fumble. So this is more of like the Browns just playing good football to start the game. And oh man, when you're rolling that downhill at home, I would be worried about what this is going to look like for Daniel Jones on this drive.
And on to the football this time. And it's brought down at the
Wow.
57-yard line. As we check out
Wow.
Swarming all season long. Jim Schwartz, defensive coordinator, said he likens.
Coop said, Coop heard all y'all talking. Coop heard all that talking. Y'all was talking crazy about the homie Coop. I've had Tyvus on here, multiple people on here telling y'all need to chill on Coop. And Coop let y'all know y'all should have chilled on him. Sly says, what a throw, what a catch. Great job, special teams. Yes, sir. Let's keep it going, though. Now, again, with a team like New York, their first drive's usually going to be their best shot here at you.
From the 27-yard line, Devin Singletary out to the 30 for a gain of 3. Brian Daboll telling us Jones was much improved following the Week 1 loss to the Vikings against the Commanders. Daboll said he played fast, decisive, trust in his eyes.
It was the first thing I noticed on film. There's Brian Daboll, the head coach. The first thing I noticed was how quickly he was getting the ball out. The reads were there. And I also noticed.
All right. Fred Himes says, do you know who the hell I am, Amari Cooper? Hey, he was sick of it. He was sick of it. Hey. Let's get him behind the sticks on 3rd down, y'all. That's what I like. Jordan Hicks. We got to have a conversation. Jordan Hicks has been a useful addition to this team, man.
Jordan Hicks, he got the game ball last week because of how well he played defensively. And you just see it going right in there. It was a blitz. He read it beautifully. And what I love about his play is that he doesn't just run into linemen. When you blitz, you still go for the ball. That's exactly what he did. Slip 2 offensive linemen.
Get him off the field here, 3rd and 11.
Super Bowl together with the Eagles.
Trust him completely. He's a signal caller. Can make the checks as well.
Also 4, 3rd down and 11. Jones.
And nothing. And there's Denzel Ward over top, and that's going to be the first 3 and out of the day. We're 13 minutes into the game. The Browns are on their second possession offensively.
Get done in all areas for the first couple of minutes today. Special teams forcing the turnover. The offense scores on their first play from scrimmage. Defense forces a 3 and out.
That's that swarming defense we just talked about. They had a tackle for loss. There was about 3 guys around Neighbors when he made that completion. It's going to be like that all game long for the Giants. They're going to have to manage it and figure out how to get down the field.
Jamie Gillen pumps it away. Excellent kick.
Good punt.
James
We're going to have a lane here, though. Going to have a little bit of a crease here. There we go.
Knocked out of bounds. And for a game.
Well, what a start. Wow, what a start. Hey, gotta finish it. Gotta finish it, right? A good start don't matter if you don't finish strong. But what a start. Woo! What a start for the Cleveland Browns in this one. Defense already rolling downhill. And look, going 3 and out in your first possession if you're New York is bad news, because that first possession, that's when you have all of your game planned calls in there. That's when you have your best stuff cooked up to get off to a good start. Your most guaranteed hitters, and they got negative yardage on that drive. So that's not a good sign for the Giants, but it's a good sign for the Cleveland Browns. Now, again, they got to keep this momentum going, but this is how you want to start a game. And remember, teams like the Giants that struggle offensively versus the Cleveland Browns, usually their most successful drive in that first drive, and they got nothing there, so that might not be good for them for the rest of this game. Technically, it's their second. Yeah, technically, it's their second drive. Wow. I cannot believe. They got the Polish hammer over there? Was that Gillian? Wow. But I can't believe that start. Woo, I cannot believe. I think they started off similarly fast against Kansas City, right? Like the first Kansas City game in 2021, the second Kansas City game in 2021 with Baker Mayfield. Didn't they start similarly as fast, chat? I think that's the only other time they've started that fast off of like their own success, not necessarily like Pittsburgh just fumbling into the end zone. Excuse me, new position over. Wow.
And so are we.
We barking in chat, y'all. We feeling good in chat. How y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good in chat? We get to see Jed Wills back out there. I believe he started.
This is the first game against the Cowboys, and remember, he had season-ending shoulder surgery, so he was rusty mentally. It was a little fast for him, and then last week against the Jaguars, you see that his ability starting to come back, his reaction, and what a beautiful throw he had today for Amari Cooper to get that first touchdown.
So now the second play from scrimmage for the
Good run, Jerome.
today.
Oh, good stiff arm. Way to get down.
Takes it out to the 25-yard line.
All right, 2nd and 6.
Watson's numbers last week. And the win over Jacksonville. Browns quickly back up to the line.
Oh, we're going tempo here, huh?
2nd down and 6. Watson to the near side.
All right, 3rd and short. Let's get it.
About a yard and a half shy of the marker as we check out the Browns offense without right tackle Jack Conklin and tight end David Njoku.
But they did get Jedrick Wills back. I know that's a huge addition.
Oh, Jed got the swaggy face mask on though.
But he's really
Yeah, Deuce Staley wanted Jerome Ford to go north a little bit quicker than that.
really good. Doesn't have the same burst. Really appreciated the way Ford has taken over that role, has given him big yards.
Oh, free play. Free play.
On the field, 3rd down. There's a flag movement prior to the snap.
Free play.
Greg Rolstad, our referee.
We got it.
It looks like it's going to be on Raheem Nunez Roches, number 93.
Offside. Defense. Number 93. The penalty results in the first down. And that is Nunez Roches. The Browns have been plagued by penalties over the first 2 weeks, most in the league, but this one goes against the Giants. Kevin Stefanski had the entire team sit down early in the week, watched every penalty from the first 2 games.
Oh, free run. Oh, gotta catch that. Gotta catch that. Good release, Watson.
It was Micah McFadden in the face of Deshaun Watson.
That's a great call. Micah McFadden.
Yeah, you get the blitz you want here to get that slip screen going. I mean, the blitz is right on the right side there. Jerome Ford's got to catch that. You got even numbers there. If you get downfield and you look quickly, that's at least 10 yards there for Jerome. You got to catch that ball. Jerome's not off to a hot start right now.
Worked with Jim Schwartz in Tennessee, so these coaching staffs have some familiarity.
Little motion, 2-stack on top.
2nd down and 10.
They'll just take 4 to move the ball here to 3rd and 7.
37-yard line. It's Jerry Jeudy. As we take a look at the Giants' defense.
All right, so one of the things you want to see with Watson here, right? Check off the stuff that you saw in Dallas that made you concerned on the football field. 3rd and 7 situations. He's going to see a mix of zone coverages here against the New York Giants. And you're going to want to see if he can decipher it quickly and make a quick decision here behind the line of scrimmage. It was something that gave him trouble, at least appeared to give him trouble against Dallas.
You have to slide your mind to it.
Dexter Lawrence on Deshaun Watson. Teammates at Clemson had great success together. 3rd down and 7. Watson in trouble.
They get pressure there.
So the Giants.
Pressure got there too quickly. I think that was, what, two seconds there?
Talking about
Dexter got in there in the
he
middle.
makes the play, celebrates with Burns.
I wasn't talking about that dance he just did, but I love that he's
What
on the
happened
air,
there?
and he's going against a Pro Bowl guard.
Yeah, Joel on the twist, and they just overloaded there. So I bet what happened there was a half slide. The guy slid the wrong way. There was a wrong mic point by somebody on the protection team. That's what it feels like. I think the mic point was wrong because Jet shouldn't be 3-on-3 on the man, or 3-on-2 on the man side there. So I think that's a wrong mic point by whoever's in charge of protections. Because Jed even handles the twist well. That's why I thought it might have been an issue with Jed handling the twist. But he handles the twist. Somebody just comes outside shoulder. That means that the slide protection wasn't correct. It's not Wills' fault. No, stop it. Yeah, it's not Wills' fault. That's more on the slide protect. Because what's he supposed to do? If it's 3-on-2, it's overload, right? You can only do but so much there. It's not Jed's fault. Who's saying it's Jed's fault? Yeah, it's a bad protection call. It doesn't look like it was a full slide. It looked like it was a half slide. They just did. They thought they saw the protection coming from somewhere. I think Dallas. I mean not Dallas. The Giants just fooled them on that one, right? Like they had a good protection called up, and they just fooled them. They got the better of the Browns there. Really, all you can say. Sometimes the Giants get paid to play football and coach football too, right? So there's sometimes they're just gonna have a good call in. They're going to have the right call in. The Browns are going to identify something they thought was that in there. The Giants took advantage of that, saw somebody on the other side, and then got the look that they wanted. That's just football right there. That's the chess game. That's football. It's not always you could just point your finger and blame a player. Like sometimes it's just they got the right call in. Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns are real problems. They're going to make plays. I mean, they didn't even make that play there. I think that was on the defensive coordinator. Just did an excellent job of confusing the Browns' protection right there. Because that was just a free run on the outside shoulder there, and then it freed up Dexter Lawrence because of all the traffic going inside there. Because you look at what Joe was doing, Joe's rep was fine on that play. It was just everything else that broke down outside of it because you're on the overload. It's just how that play broke down. But yeah, Dexter Lawrence is a good player. But I don't think he's going to wreck the game for the Browns, or at least he shouldn't wreck the game for the Browns, right? Like you're paying a lot of money in that interior, your offensive line to not have your game get wrecked if you're the Browns. He back.
Play today, it's Fox Super 6, free to play game down on the Fox Sports app. Gray had it knocked loose on the opening kickoff. First time the Giants lost the football on the opening kickoff since November of 2013. But their defense comes up big, forcing the punt. And now Jones.
Oh, picked off. Ronnie Hickman got him. Is it gonna be? It's gonna be a late hit on the quarterback.
Giants with their own fumble. And now the officials get together. Jones took a big hit from Greg Newsome.
Greg Newsome disguised that blitz so well. It's coming from the passing strength side.
Oh, they're gonna call roughing.
They're discussing if it was roughing the pass.
Yeah, the helmet to helmet contact. They're gonna call roughing on that.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
That's not helmet to helmet though. It's hands. That's a tight call.
From those angles, it looked like he did hit him in the helmet. And we know they're very strict about this penalty, right? It doesn't matter your intentions or how softly you hit him. If you hit in that head neck area, that is going to be roughing the passer every time.
So it erases the interception by Ronnie Hickman.
Damn. All right, get him off the field.
Newsome to the sidelines. 1st and 10 for the Giants. From their 34-yard line. Off the play fake, Jones is going.
Nah, you're not getting that. You're not gonna get a deep shot on Denzel Ward. That's crazy. It's not happening.
I like the play call. I like that Daniel Jones is going for it. Jalen Hyatt, he is their fastest wide receiver, known for his deep threat, his speed. Biletnikoff Award winner at Tennessee. And that's the way you challenge a defense. You're going to force the safeties now, Ronnie Hickman, to stay back and not creep up. Denzel Ward, he's coming back. He had a shoulder injury, only playing on 3rd downs last week. Now he's playing on 1st and 2nd down this week.
Tracy remains in the backfield, 2nd and 10. This is Tracy, rookie out of Purdue.
That's stop. All right, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 here. Get him off the field.
3rd down and 6.
No.
Upcoming. Giants trailing 7-0. Andrew Thomas One of the best in the league at left tackle.
He's playing very well. And another guy that's playing very well, Malik Neighbors. They're all everything rookie wide receiver, and Jim Schwartz had high praise for him. Said he admires
I would expect him to go to Neighbors here, try to get him on Greg Newsome or something like that. Are they going to a stack? Yeah, look, they're going to go to Neighbors.
Welcome to former Giant and Brown. One clock winding down.
That was close.
Jones can't find anyone. Now he throws.
He's short. He's short. That's fourth down. That's fourth down. Wendell. They're going to go for it?
Well, this is a great job by Daniel Jones. You're going to see all the pressure coming. Everybody is one-on-one. Myles Garrett goes inside, forces Daniel Jones outside, and you see him step up in the pocket, and he does a great job of keeping his eyes downfield. And now the Giants offense going for it on fourth down. It's 4th and inches, and they will be very aggressive on the road. Like the play call said.
All right, JOK, this is where you shine. Ah, barely got it.
Speaking of finding ways to get Neighbors a football, there's Neighbors, and he's going to do this jet motion fly sweep. Everyone's doing it.
Hey.
Bay does this a ton with his wide receivers. When you have a guy that's
I know they got the first down, but that's a really good job by Ronnie Hickman there. Look, you let the first down go, but remember, the Browns did a similar thing to that with Jerome Ford last week, got 45 yards on that play. So it's a good job by Ronnie Hickman making sure that doesn't go for more than what it's supposed to, which is just a first down. Nice little screen here, and good way to get off of it, Jordan Hicks. Good job, Jordan Hicks, coming off that screen.
Midfield, a gain of 4 for Devin Singletary.
And that's the way you attack these aggressive, swarming defenses.
The Browns are really sound right now, tackling, staying in their gap, staying where they're supposed to. Even these plays that are breaking and getting like a 5-yard chunk for the New York Giants, they aren't really breaking for excessive amounts right now. So I think this is good here. Still want to get them off the field.
And then they get the pressure on the quarterback.
Last up here with Thomas. Giants left tackle, 2nd down and 6. Jones over to his right. There is a
Holding.
Jones throws it.
All right, it's going to be 2nd and 16.
And once again, we will check in with the referee, Craig Rolstan. Holding. Offense, number 74. The 10-yard penalty. 2-play 2nd down.
You think it was a hold on Miles?
Right hand Roten.
Jordan Hicks on the blitz again.
Jordan Hicks. Hey, the first 3 drives this game, we've said Jordan Hicks' name a lot.
Usually, you would see a defensive lineman doing that, getting the hold, but Jordan Hicks, he's been very, very active for Jim Schwartz in this defense these past 2 weeks.
2nd and 16 following the penalty. Empty set for the Giants. Jones
Oh.
throws over the middle.
Oh, man.
A first down.
Man. You can't let that happen. I mean, Miles just a half a second late there on the blitz, and then middle of the field just wide open there.
This week, a different story. Bo Nix takes it in himself from 3 yards out. Broncos on top by 7. Or again, Kenny.
Now they're in scoring range.
Buccaneers have won their first 2 games.
All right, let's get them on this set. You can stop them from scoring if you get them on this set.
After converting on the 4th down.
Oh, big play. Oh. Hold. It's a hold. It's coming back. It's going to be a first down still. It's going to be on the same yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 40. I think the hold came late.
It's coming back.
It's either going to be like 2nd and 13 or 1st and 10 from the 40.
Holding. Offense. Number 84. 10-yard penalty. Big play first down. That's the rookie tight end out of Penn State.
Okay, where did they get him?
Johnson, they've been trying to get him involved a lot more.
So it's going to be what, 1st and 13?
Holding on Grant Delpit. Daniel Jones gets outside, but with a little help from Theo Johnson. He does get the penalty, but he's done a good job blocking. Watched him in the preseason, saw the way that he was able to hold his own at the point of attack.
Oh, wow. First and
and able
17.
to keep him
They called that hold a lot earlier than I thought they did.
Jones and Devin Singletary in the run game.
First and 17 following the penalty. Jones to the outside. It's Tracy.
We got to do a better job maintaining our penalty yardage. This is the second time we've gotten a penalty, pushed them back, and then we just give up 5-7 yards of that penalty. I mean, 10 yards right there of that penalty yardage immediately on the second down here. You got to maintain that penalty advantage.
Second down and 5. Giants offense scored 3 touchdowns last week against Washington. First team in NFL history to score at least 3 touchdowns, allow none, but lose the game in regulation. Washington kicked 7 field goals. Giants were without their kicker, Gano. Went for 2 a couple of times.
I mean, extremely frustrating if you're Brian Dable, right? Offensively.
First charge timeout. We are. Certainly a little game last week. Giants call timeout. Now this from United.
Giants caught timeout. First time out of the half. Let's get them off the field here. I don't think it's too much blitzing. I don't think they blitz that much. They blitz like 2 times. The Browns only blitz like 25% of the time. That's like bottom half of the league. They don't blitz that much. They're not blitzing that much right now. What they're doing is the Browns aren't really blitzing. They're sending a lot of sim pressure. So what sim pressure is making it look like you're going to blitz, but then rolling like 8 guys back into coverage. You notice there, right? Zadarius Smith was in coverage on that play. The reason he was in coverage because that was a sim pressure. It's more about making them guess who's coming than who's coming.
But offensively, it was pretty efficient.
Good job. Good tackle.
Turn the corner. And it's taken down by Ward. So Neighbors targeted 25 times in the air over the first
3rd and 3.
Now we've seen Jones hand it off to the rookie wideout twice. He converted earlier on the 4th down.
Yeah, threw a 3rd and long to him. There was a completion, but didn't get the first down. But again, all these touches add up.
Where's the ball at?
I remember playing. You have to now
Yeah, they're in range.
Put your eyes on him, figure out where he is, and that can throw you off for the rest of the offense.
It's top of the screen. Split out
Film
to
press.
the right here. 3rd down and 3. And Jones' pass is caught for a first down by Darius Slayton, the veteran of this Giants wide receiver unit.
Always a deep threat. That time throws up, gets a first down. Even Darius Slayton had mentioned how much speed this wide receiver core has. And there he takes
It's
shot.
a little late there by
Both
Martin
defenders
Emerson.
Still holds on to the football, but you know, we should start to talk about the offensive line. They've been giving Daniel Jones time. Now there's a 4-man rush. That's when he's had time. When Jordan Hicks has been in the blitz or he's rushing, that's when they've been getting pressure. And Jim Schwartz said he wanted to stay out of that. Look at week 1 and week 2 for Daniel Jones.
2 tight ends set. There's Singletary. Finds a hole.
That's going to score.
15 to 10. Steps out of bounds. Devin Singletary takes it all the way down inside the 5-yard line. It's a 20.
Tighten up in the red zone. It's been a point of emphasis for the Browns defense.
Devin Singletary, he sets it up slowly. Offensive linemen are out there, and there is nobody to help make that play. Jeremiah Wusu-Koromora, he's the one that had him in coverage. There were 2 offensive linemen for him, and Singletary, nicknamed Motor by Brian Dable, gets out.
Good call. Good call by Dable.
He motored down the sideline.
He really did. Save that one for you, Kevin.
1st and goal. 2 tight ends set. Jones from the shotgun. There's Singletary. Motor up the middle. Scattering him down.
Still going.
Finally wrapped up inside the 1. This drive by the Giants approaching 7 minutes.
Every time the Browns like get a turnover on a drive super early, but a penalty negates it, I swear that drive always goes for like 15 plays and a touchdown. Every time that's happened to the defense this year. I think it's happened like 2-3 times already.
And so goal line says that Dable uses him just like Josh Allen, or he could do the quarterback keeper.
Or like they get a close interception that should have been caught or something like that. Like every time they get a near turnover, this drive ends up being like a monster.
Touchdown.
Got to take advantage of your opportunities, though. Hey, see the offense put more points up. You knew you were going to have to put more than 7 points up to win the game, though. They calling that back?
Fourth down conversion and the finish by Singletary.
Going right at the heart of this Browns defense. And that's the second effort again by Devin Singletary to get in for a touchdown. Look at that. Stays low, keeps driving, second effort, and gets in there.
His second score of the season.
Yeah, you got it.
Here's Greg Joseph. First game as a Giant. Broke into the lead with the Browns. Signed this week to replace the injured Gano. The extra point straight through. 13-play drive. Devin Singletary and the Giants.
Let's hit that like button, y'all. We got 200. We got 1,000 people in here. Over 1,000 people in here. And then only 229 likes. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that like button, y'all. Let's get to 500 before the Browns get out there next time. We know we're going to get to 1K at the end of this whole thing. We usually do, but let's get, a quarter at a time, right? So let's get to 500 right here. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't I don't agree with it being roughing the passer there. It was a very tight roughing the passer call. Like it wasn't helmet contact, it was hands contact, but they called it anyway. It's really close. Some guys are going to call it. Some guys aren't going to call it. It is what it is with that. Still need to have a better set there defensively. Albeit, like, we got to look at – there's some things you look at the big picture with the game, and then there's some things you look at with the small picture, with the kind of more focused view. And the big picture is the Browns defense was going to give up a touchdown drive at some point in the game. So one touchdown drive happening is not any reason to panic. You weren't going to – realistically, it's not common to shut out opponents, right? So we'll see. We'll see what the defense does going forward. The first two drives for them look pretty good. That drive, they had a couple opportunities to get off the field, but did not take advantage of them. And also, I think in that drive, the thing that Jim Schwartz is going to harp on the most outside of the penalty with Greg Newsome there is you got two holding calls on that drive where they got to 2nd and 26 or 1st and 20, and you squandered that penalty yardage almost immediately on the next play to where they're back in the 2nd and 5 or they got a first down in the case of the 2nd and 26. So you just got to take advantage of the opportunities you're given. Like, yeah, you should have got the interception. Sure, that's cool. But you also should have gotten off the field on one of those holding calls, given how strong this defense is. So this is more about just taking advantage of what's in front of you and the opportunities in front of you. They didn't do a good job taking advantage on that drive. Zach Tuhowski says it's about time for a long Jerome Ford rushing touchdown. Yeah, he hasn't had one yet this year, huh?
But then 13 plays, 81 yards, 7 minutes, 44 seconds. Their longest drive time-wise since the wild card win in Minnesota in January of 2023.
Yeah, it was extremely methodical, very efficient. They're frankly just picking up where they left off from last week against the Commanders. The offense looked really good on that series.
Joseph booms it through.
It's crazy how normal that kickoff feels now. Like it's 3 weeks in and it just feels normal now.
Duo Dexter Lawrence, who already has a sack, and Brian Burns looking to come on. And everyone's talking about Burns. He doesn't have any sacks yet, etc. But you got to look at the effort. It's not like he was just expected to have 5 sacks in 2 games. As long as he's out there and he's a threat, because he's still a threat every time you have the game plan for him, this duo is going to create a lot of problems for everyone. They've already created those problems for the Browns so far.
Browns start for their 30. Foreman in the backfield. Takes the handoff from Watson. So is a former.
Hey, if Foreman gonna run like that, he got to put a Guardian cap on, bro. That's crazy.
Film of it.
Just use his head like a bowling ball there.
Guy who's very athletic. He's been running around the edge, but he's a little tentative. And when I talk about tentative, I want to see him just play through the offensive tackle as opposed to trying to figure out what the offensive tackle is trying to do to him, right? You're the athletic one. You're the aggressor. Go out and force the issue on the offensive tackle. Let your athleticism take over and make plays.
Second down at 7. Watch it under pressure. Set.
They're struggling with these protections today.
Fadden along with Bobby Okereke.
It's another one where you got a free run up the left side. I think it was Poe who changed the protection. Somebody, Poe or both Bitonio, changed the protection. And then you see again, you get
Getting in there.
the overload to the right side. They're struggling identifying where that protection, where that pressure is coming from. I mean, there's some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people too. That just overloads the offensive line no matter where you protect to.
Azeez Ojulari getting in there. So far, so good for the Giants.
Third down and 15.
Got it.
Watson in trouble. Spot around. Sacked again. Elijah Chapman, who had a terrific training camp.
Straight up the middle again.
His first NFL sack, the undrafted rookie out of SMU.
And Elijah Chapman, he's going to wrap around and does a really nice job of using that
Yep.
right in there. I mean, Deshaun Watson, the fans are starting to boo, but as soon as he sets his feet, there's a defensive player.
Yeah, this pressure's been immediate the last 2 drives. They got to get out of some of this 5-0. I don't think they're going to be able to hold up in 5-0 all game with them.
This is Amir Smith-Marset. Signed by the Giants last week. Out to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, they got to get out of 5-0.
This quarter comes to an end at 64-yard.
Q, I think you owe Minnesota an apology. Was Minnesota up right now or
Last
something?
possession, held the ball for nearly 8 minutes. And now their defense comes up with sacks on back-to-back plays.
Did you just pay with PayPal?
Yeah, and the cashback's wild.
See, I can't be wrong about that Minnesota-Houston game because I'm not high on Minnesota, but I'm also not as high on Houston as everybody else is. And I think that's an interesting result there. 14-0 on Houston. 'Cause they've been looking shaky through 2-0, the Houston Texans, more so than the Minnesota Vikings have, to be honest. But good for them. Let's see if they hold that lead. Green Bay up 17-7 on the Titans. We got a super chat from Ray Rag says it's time to say it. This O-line is bad. Nah, just let them adjust. Be all right. The Chargers 7-0. Philadelphia is down 3-0 to New Orleans. Chicago, Indy 0-0. Denver, Tampa Bay. Denver's up 14-0 on Tampa Bay. And 7-7 Cleveland, New York. Yeah, I think the offensive line, it's not that they're playing bad. I think they're overwhelmed. So they came into this game thinking that they would get a lot more, be able to get away with some 5-0 protections here. They're just not being able to get away with it. I would expect them to adjust and come out with some heavier personnel. I think they're going to come out probably with some 12, 11. They've been running a lot of empty and a lot of 11 personnel. So they're probably going to come out 12, maybe even some 13, have an eligible tackle out there to assist it, because what the Giants are doing is simple. They're sending 6, 7 guys at the line every time to just get immediate pressure. And no matter where you slide your protection to, if they're sending 6 or 7 guys, they're going to outnumber you. So that's more about just adjusting to the strategy of New York than about what New York's actually doing to them. Like, I don't think the Browns are straight up getting beat man-to-man on the offensive line. It's just they're sending more guys than the Browns offensive line has, and they got to get out these 5-0 protections. You think AB and Kevin underestimated the steep decline? I'm not going to – let's let the game play out before we start freaking out about the offensive line.
Both sides since this game could not.
Because it's not Jed struggling right now. It's not even anybody individually. They're just sending a lot of guys there.
It's been opposite of what
They're just going to have to adjust what they do with their protections. I think they thought coming into this game, having their starting tackles back, they would just be able to sit in 5-0, but the Giants are playing them out of that.
Down. Quincy out to the 44-yard line. Gain of 7.
And then now watching the Giants offense again, everything has been to the outside. They ran a couple plays up the gut. You want to keep the Browns defense honest, but they found ways to get everybody the football on the outside. And it's got this defensive line kind of running. All of a sudden, you're not so aggressive running and chasing the quarterback because you're wasting all that energy going out to the perimeter trying to make a tackle.
Eric Gray in the backfield. Takes the handoff from
There you go.
Jones.
All right, get him off the field here.
Not much. So we'll be 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Miles Garrett, he comes back in speed package for the Browns defense. Darius Smith, Quick Jefferson, all these guys are now going to come back in. And it's interesting because Jordan Hicks has been the one that's really been getting the pressure. And Jim Schwartz told us, I don't want to have to blitz every time to get Miles Garrett one-on-one. What he's saying in plain English is the other 3 guys up front besides Miles Garrett, they got to get home.
Bunch formation, 3 receivers to the right.
Oh, here comes Miles. Hold. And he's sacked anyways.
And Jones is sent to the turf by Zadarius Smith.
It's a sack anyways. The Browns will not accept this penalty. Super chat from Mighty says, can't that be countered by hot reads? No. Yeah. You can go hot, but you can't go hot out of empty and think you're going to be able to get to your 3rd step, right? Like there's no route that's going to develop that fast. You need to just have a running back in there, put a tight end in there, and get them out of those blitzes in order to get them out of it. Like, that's just what it is, right? So they're probably going to come back out here, be a little bit more heavy, because right now the Giants are just sending a lot of pressure, like a lot of blitzers at the problem, right? They're just pressuring a ton. I don't think the Browns expected that, given that the strength of the Giants is their defensive line, and usually, good cut by James Prochet, but when your strength is your defensive line, you don't really blitz that much, but they're blitzing like Wink Martindale is there. I think they've blitzed probably like 50% of the time on this Browns defense since that touchdown. So that's an adjustment New York made because of that touchdown the Browns got on the first possession. And now Cleveland's probably going to have to adjust to that because they probably came into this game thinking, hey, we're going to get 5-0. We think we can hold up. But now they're sending 6-7 guys. You got to start adding people to that protection plan, chips, all of that, in order to get some time. And if you do get it blocked up, right, if they send a 6 or 7 man blitz at you and you get it blocked up, if you have just 2.5 seconds, 3 seconds to look at that, you're going to get big plays downfield. Right. So I think that's what they're going to try to counter with here. So right now it's just been this has been more of a chess battle between the coaches than like good or bad play from the individual players, to be honest with you. That's what I'm noticing in this game. I think Dable's had some good play calls in here. I thought that drive he had, that 85-yard drive, filled with great play calls. I thought Kevin got him on a couple play calls as well. And then defensively, they've been going back and forth. I wonder if they're going to give Smith the sack there because Daniel Jones could be defined as a runner because he is starting to run right there.
It's Sunday morning football. From London. 2 sides take the field. Only one will emerge victorious. Watch live as Justin Jefferson leads the Vikings against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Set your alarms because this waits for no one. Rise, shine, football. Jets, Vikings. Sunday, October 6th at 9:30 Eastern, only on NFL Network.
Saturday, on Fox. Today's game on Fox is sponsored by DraftKings Sports. Man, here's Shane Bowen taking a page out of the Giants defense.
Yeah, because look at these blitzes and these pressures. I mean, it's linebackers. It's guys other than just the defensive line back there. That last sack was by Bobby Okereke. That's a linebacker, right? So when that's going to be the case, they're blitzing.
Because of that, it's opened up the rest of the defense, and there's big Dexter Lawrence, man. He's getting a breather.
Notice here the Browns have a tight end in now.
When he's not in the game.
Watson throws on first down over the top to Ford as we check in with Megan.
Thanks, Kenny. Well, the Giants defense right now are without the rookie cornerback number 22, Drew Phillips. He was working on the sideline, limping a bit. I am told he is questionable to return with a calf injury.
That's Megan. He's been outstanding over the first 2 weeks. The Giants' leading tackler, third-round pick out of Kentucky. Shane Bowen and Brian Dable very pleased with what they have received from Phillips so far.
Yeah, 12 tackles last week against the Commanders, had an interception. He would have gotten the game ball had they won.
Second down and 7. It is Ford, and he is brought down from behind.
Got him on a draw there.
Third and long coming up
Let's get this third.
for the Browns.
Yeah, this is Azeez Ojulari.
They were just alert there. They thought they were going to see something here where they're going to send a lot of
And
pressure.
they go, both of them, man.
Honestly, the play just happened a little fast.
Jerome Ford makes a nice cut, but no, to make that play.
All right, Browns going to be in 5-0 here against a heavy front.
Top of the list in the first 2 weeks.
Get the first down. There you go.
First down.
Way to hold up offensive line, right? Heavy front. They don't send them all. They only send 4. You hold up in 5-0. You get what you need.
Issues with drops over the first 2 weeks. 4 most in the NFL, but today, 2 for 2.
You know he's knocking off some of the rust.
Way to identify. They were in what, match 3? Yeah, way to identify match 3 there. You can see the safety buzz. I think that's match 3 buzz.
Season,
Some version of it. They're in 3 again.
Offense this game.
From the 31 on first down, it's Ford. Quick to cut back to the inside. Nunez Roches brings him down. Gain of 1 on the play. There's Amari Cooper, the 5.
Get back to just running this thing up the middle with Jerome Ford. You know, like I don't love trying to get him on the side, edge to edge, every single run he gets.
Still has all the tools, great hands, great body control. What I noticed was the separation wasn't there the first 2 weeks. So that's either a little rust, timing, whatever it is, but his routes are always sharp. He just has to get that separation again.
Second down and 9. Watson looking for Cooper. There is a flag. And now another.
2 flags.
Banks defending. 2 penalty markers.
Yeah, going back to these pressures, it's going to be Tyler Newman who's pressuring Deshaun Watson. And then you have Deshaun Watson recognizing that, throws the ball outside, one-on-one coverage, Amari Cooper versus Deontay Banks.
Defense, number 3. The ball in place of the start of the foul. Automatic. First down.
All right, let's get it.
And this is great recognition by both Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson. They recognize the blitz is coming. They convert to a fade. And
It's definitely a catchable football because it lands in bounds, right? Like that's a catchable football. You drove him out of bounds here with the pass interference. So yeah, it makes sense.
official say once.
Browns pick up 13 yards on the penalty. From their 45 on first.
Good protection.
Six pass complete. Out across
So that's the point I was trying to make earlier, was that it wasn't that the Browns offensive line was playing bad the last 2 drives. It's that they were getting overwhelmed because New York was just sending 6-7 guys at the line of scrimmage, which is just going to outnumber you, especially when you're in 5-0 protection. There's no protection that's going to hold up when they're sending that many people. So I didn't think a lot of those sacks were on the offensive line. I know a lot of people reacted as if that was the case. It's just, okay, now you got to change up how you protect. This drive, they're doing a much better job of protecting against those fronts and keeping extra guys in. They're not doing a good job running the ball, though.
Looks like they're going to get Jerome Ford. He started motioning towards him.
Oh, sorry. Snap infraction. Number 55. 5-yard penalty. Second down. They call that on the center. Ethan Fossett. Yeah, that play a little off. First snap penalty is an issue for the Browns. Over their first 2 games, they committed 14.
Yeah, worse in the NFL. And you had already mentioned Stefanski basically had everyone in the room and showed every one of them to point it out. They tried to over communication, and that time it was just another mental error.
Second down at 9. Watson already sacked 3
Get rid of it.
times, chased by
Get rid of it.
and then he throws it away on the way down.
There we go. Way to get rid of it. Did it get past? Does it have to?
Potential.
Yeah, it didn't get past the line of scrimmage. What's going on with the field, too? The field looks like it's slippery.
Get back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't think it did. I think it was short.
Yep.
There's no intentional grounding on the flag. The ball got back.
Oh, it did?
So the officials got together. They say that it did, in fact.
And Lawrence all smiled.
That one there, I think Watson held the ball just a little bit too long there. You get a couple seconds here. 1, 2, top drop. Got to get rid of the ball.
There goes big Dexter Lawrence, chasing him down, almost forced the intentional grounding.
Therefore,
I didn't thought. I was about to say I didn't think it passed the line of scrimmage. Nah, I didn't know you can just. I didn't know you can call it and change it, man. O-line can't stop a parked car queue?
side that it did not get.
Eh. We'll see. We'll give it more than 1 quarter.
We thought it didn't get past the line of scrimmage. Glad that they reconvened again. And Kevin Stefanski, he has to figure out how to stop this blitz that's been coming, and he has to figure out how to stop Dexter Lawrence. The penalties are just killing them. Right? Last year, they had a bunch of penalties. They had 11 wins, so he didn't talk.
They're just going to throw this underneath and punt it.
Second most last season. Third down at 22. Pass over the middle, caught by Elijah Moore. Takes it out to
They're just going to try to pin them back with the punt.
the Browns will punt it away. So another good stand by the Giants defense. The pressure by Lawrence on the previous play. And the Browns will punt for the third straight time.
And you're hearing some boos in the crowd, and it's not because of the lack of production. It's those penalties. The penalties are killing the drives. They're really hurting this offense, and then you can't do anything, right? So the Giants defense was just playing lights out. All right, you give them their credit, but they're playing well, and the Browns are messing themselves up.
Bojo's left-footed?
Are set. Back at the 7-yard line.
All right.
Set.
Stay in the flow of the game here. Play some defense.
Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily bad O-line play. I just think it's just they got to get out of these 5-0 protections. They're outnumbering them. I think that's what the Giants have done a really good job of, is taking advantage of that. Also, the Browns need to get a little bit more production running the ball, right? Like, that's been a big difference maker. Last week versus Jacksonville, you were able to run the ball. But right now, the Browns haven't had any kind of consistent production running the ball. So now this defense can really just pin his ears back. I know it's real easy to just blame one aspect that's very visible about where the team is struggling, but that's not just happening by itself. The run game not producing is creating this. The Browns being in 5-0, so empty protection versus a lot of like 5+ blitz. That's adding to this, right? Like, I think this is more about how the Browns are attacking the game and what they're not getting around the pass game that's creating the situation for them. They got to get this run game going to get this team, to get the Giants out of these blitzes. They got to be successful on their screens, right? If they're going to blitz a lot, one of the ways to beat a lot of heavy blitzes is to throw some screens. But the Browns haven't been successful on the screens. They haven't been successful on the draws. They haven't been successful on the run. Like, all of the counters that you would have for a team blitzing this heavy, they haven't executed those counters well enough to make it hurt for the Giants. And that's why they're not able to hold up protection-wise, because they can't really stop the Giants or disincentivize them from blitzing. So the way you stop a blitz is either you have to disincentivize it, right? You got to get going on some of these run plays. You got to get going on the screens, because right now they're just able to blitz with no consequence. They're not really getting beat with 4 that often. Saints says we haven't had a slew of holding penalties. No. Chris Gustafaro says this is so frustrating. Yeah, it is frustrating, for sure. There you go, defense. Way to get him back behind the line of scrimmage. okay.
Yeah, it's the tackle. Good to see him back. He's limped off a little bit, kind of shaking it off, and fortunately he's back for him because he is such a good linebacker. I love watching him, and I love the way that he just dissects.
And just go with the flow of the game. Remember, it's only the second quarter. If you were watching Ohio State yesterday, you would have thought that would have been a close game, right? Because Marshall's going in, driving, it might be 14-14, and the next thing you know, Ohio State's up 49-14. So, like, just go with the flow of the game, man. Like, you're not just gonna wipe them out completely. They're gonna play. They're gonna try to stay in this game, and the Giants are gonna try to win this one. And the talent discrepancy between the New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns isn't the same as Ohio State and Marshall. You just got to let the game happen, you know.
More, and then he misses a tackle out
there. Yeah, that would have been huge if we would have made that. I hate listening to Jonathan Vilma commentate. Can you comment on what adjustments you think will be made defensively and offensively in the second half? I mean, they're going to make their adjustments throughout the game, so they're not going to just wait till halftime.
Robinson picks up a first down. Out to the 25-yard.
The Browns got to get him more zone looks right now, because they're getting beat to the edge because they're in one-on-one man situations. So I think they need to just have more nickel looks, be out there in zone, have multiple guys on the edge, because teams are just throwing to the boundary on them. That's a big thing there. I think that's an adjustment they're making right now. And honestly, if you're the Browns defense, the pressure is the one thing, right? You got to hit at a higher clip of pressure right now. You're not hitting at the clip that you want to.
On 17. That's right.
Offensively, you got to hit on some screens, and you got to be able to run this ball. Okay, there you go.
Jones is under pressure from Ward. Singletary makes the catch. That's his team-leading 4th reception.
Yeah, offensively, look, if they're going to blitz this much, you got to have a hit rate and be cleaner on these screens and these run plays. Like when they ran that draw, they're running that draw because they're expecting a blitz and they're trying to run behind that blitz, but they don't execute the draw play right? They give the ball off to Jerome Ford way too quickly, so that now these guys are still in parallel view of the ball so they can see you just hand it off and you don't get it there, right? Like, it's just execution on that kind of stuff is going to disincentivize them from blitzing.
When he can. Jones has completed 10 of his first 11. Quincy picks up a Giants first down.
All right, let's get him here on this set.
38-yard line. Malik Neighbors back onto the field along with Robinson.
Yeah, and Browns got to do a better job run defending, or at least getting the TFL when the opportunity is there, wrapping up on that tackle.
Philman, Megan O'Leary. Giants committing a turnover on the opening kickoff. Browns capitalized immediately. Watson to Cooper, 11 seconds in. Then later in the first quarter, Giants put together a drive of nearly 8 minutes. Tied the game.
Stay out.
Singletary score. Now Jones using his legs.
Good coverage. Good backhand coverage. 2nd and 8.
That's just another play. No one's going to go right home about that play, but the decision making of Daniel Jones.
I know he's not giving Daniel Jones credit for running out of bounds when nobody was open downfield.
What the defense is giving him, you've been seeing the perimeter throws, the checkdowns out to Singletary. I mean, that's good football. And Brian Dable, I like the way he's been calling this
We
game
haven't moved Miles around as much.
for Daniel Jones to see and make a decision. Second down and 6. Singletary.
Let's get to 3rd and
Last week
6.
it was the Malik Neighbors show with 18 targets. He has 1 catch today. He's run the ball twice, picked up a big conversion on 4th down on the Giants' touchdown drive.
Yeah, and to be very honest, Denzel Ward is just a better corner than who the Commanders have. And so Brian Dable recognizes that and says, all right, let me see how they're playing. Right, Denzel Ward, Pro Bowler, one of the top 5, top 3 corners in the NFL, has the best closing speed Jim Schwartz has ever seen from a quarterback. I mean, that's the reason Neighbors has
Some fresh.
Third down and 5.
Hold.
It's Neighbors.
That's not a hold? Damn.
See blue jerseys all over the crowd. Chance of leak. Sounds like MetLife Stadium.
That's right. And the blue
Show the other side of that
pretty
protection.
excited about what they see. This is zone coverage. You have Alex.
Yeah, so they send Presh. They send Alex right back there. They should have got a holding call there.
He has a flat, and Neighbors smartly stays just far enough away from him so Daniel Jones can get that completion.
Gain of 14. Second catch today. Had 10 last week. Youngest player ever. At least 10 receptions, 100 yards. Not a touchdown reception. Here's Quincy. Another.
Let's get him off the field here.
Put together by the Giants. They started at their own 7-yard line this time, and they controlled the ball for over 5 minutes.
Can't let them get another 16-play, 8-minute drive here, defense. You got to get this.
Characteristic of Brian
cut this
Dable,
off.
when you think of his Buffalo days and when he had success his first year with the Giants. It's all been outside, and then you get a third and medium, and just sit in the zone, right? Sit there, make the completions, convert a couple third downs, and then you find yourself in plus territory.
10th play of the drive here. From the Cleveland 41, second down and 8. Jones
No, it's picked.
fires.
Oh, no, he did not catch that.
Snatched away.
No.
It comes out of bounds. Emerson defending.
The officials are saying he did.
No, he did not get both in, did he?
A spectacular catch made by the late Neighbors.
Yeah, the Giants are now trying to go quickly, and look at Neighbors going up over the top.
One.
Steals that ball away.
I
from
don't
Emerson.
know.
Connection. Pass underneath. Robinson
Yeah, it's a catch. It's a catch. Wow.
down.
All right, man. Come on.
What a catch by the rookie Neighbors. Took it away from Emerson. Huge play. 2-minute warning.
The energy at home's been off this year. You thought the way this game started, they'd be able to maintain that energy, but the energy at home has just been off for this team. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, it's not good. You can't let the Giants get down the field 2 times on a 13 play drive in the first half. That's concerning there from the defense. Definitely concerning there. Let me use the restroom real quick. Game's back on.
Michael. Their Hall of Fame busts in Canton. We had a great time at the Hall of Fame yesterday, 60 miles southeast of Cleveland. Thanks to John Kendall, Brad Collins, and Sean Hargan for all of their hospitality. First and goal for the Giants from the Browns 3. Fake to Singletary. Jones, end zone, and it's dropped by Johnson.
I mean, you got bailed out there. You got to take advantage of getting bailed out there.
That was a great execution, was poor. Just overthrew him. But Theo Johnson, he's known for his blocking, talked about being very good at the point of attack. And you see Emerson bites right up on the run fake, leaves him open, and just overthrows him by a little bit.
Feels like the Browns are overcompensating for getting beaten a run game by being overly aggressive in it. It's just leading to more problems.
Neighbors in the backfield with Singletary. And now Neighbors takes the direct snap. Neighbors looking to throw with Jones downfield, and it throws it out of bounds.
That was terrible. I don't like anything about that play. Daniel Jones has been playing well. He's been methodical. I don't know why you're trying to confuse or do some trickery. That was not a good call at all.
Now third and goal. Play of the drive. Neighbors split out wide to the left, top of your screen. Jones on third down.
Emerson got beat.
Throws. It's Neighbors.
Emerson got beat. Neighbors is getting them today. That's the second time.
Well,
look, straight off the line of scrimmage. Look at this route. I mean, straight off the line of scrimmage, he beats him. Yeah, it's two. That's in. Straight off the line of scrimmage. Look at this. Look, one, caught him. He knows to play better than that, man.
Did the hand touch out of bounds before that second foot hit?
Good point, Kenny. Let's take another look.
Watch the hand.
Nah, it's in.
Looked like he got it with his right toe.
It looked like the toe went
That's
down
in.
first. And it's been confirmed by the officials.
Yeah,
It was
that's in.
close. It was very close.
All right, now you got to play offense.
Looking like Beckham.
Defense ain't going to carry you through this one today.
Touchdown reception. Joseph.
He missed that?
Extra point, it's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Martin Emerson on that drive gets beat 2 times by Malik Neighbors. You can't let New York do that to you twice. You just can't. Let's see what they do.
COVID-19. I'm not waiting.
Oh, no, it's commercials. Yeah, so that drive, Martin Emerson just gets beat twice by Malik Neighbors. They're not getting pressure the way they want to. I mean, I don't think Daniel Jones has been under duress all game. Like, I think you've gotten a sack on him a couple of times, but as far as like consistent pressure, have not gotten pressure on him the way that you've gotten pressure on guys before. I mean, just I think the defensive line's not playing well. Martin Emerson's not having a good game here. Greg's been fine in coverage. He got the one penalty, but other than that, he hasn't been getting beat in coverage or anything like that. They're not really doing a good job of, like, the Browns are doing a lot of sim pressures defensively, right? Which means that they're trying to make the Giants guess where the pressure is coming from. It's just not fooling the Giants' offensive line. They see it coming here, so probably going to adjust to just bringing pressure straight up, kind of like how New York adjusted to bringing pressure straight up. So you're not really winning on the sim pressure. You're not winning in coverage in the sim pressure. It's just not working here, right? The game plan that they came in with the Giants defense, the Giants have had a better game plan offensively to attack it. Offensively, the Browns got to figure out what they can do to beat blitz, right? Especially heavy blitz, and that means executing on run plays, executing on screens, and just getting in the right protections, having the right personnel out there. So far, they haven't had a good job of doing it. But honestly, I'm more worried about the defense after that second drive than I am about the offensive line, because the offensive line, you expected there was going to be some rust there. You expected that, they were going to have some growing pains having Jed be back there for the first time in like 10 months. This defense, as the super chatter just brought up, KJ just said, letting Daniel Jones go 14 of 16 is a crime. Like, you can't let Daniel Jones get that level of efficiency and look this unbothered in the backfield. You just got to do a better job of that if you're the Browns defense.
Jones to Neighbors in the end zone. 14-7 New York.
Got to bother him more than this.
The way that they were able to motion him and the recognition by Daniel Jones is phenomenal offensively.
Well, we get a chance to visit Canton.
Let's get something going here in 2 minutes. Browns still get the ball after half, so.
The candy store. I mean, there was so much there. I got to come back. I got to just spend a whole day or weekend there. There's just so much. And it brings back the nostalgia when I was a kid, watching some of the great players. Now they're Hall of Famers, looking at them and what they've done. I mean, it is a phenomenal job. Remarkable what they've done with the Hall of Fame.
We spent a tremendous couple hours, checked out the archives. Watson's pass complete. Terry Keegan makes the catch on first down. So the Browns scored on their first.
Shout out to Stingray for being a member.
They will also receive the second half kickoff, so an opportunity for a 2-for-1. Yeah. Movement, penalty flags.
Dexter Lawrence is saying that Ethan Posey played with the football.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 97. Long-run penalty. Still second half.
Got 3 timeouts here, 121.
Say otherwise. Lawrence still trying to make his
Get a first down here, you can start the drive.
Well, tonight from the executive producer of ER and The West Wing. Don't miss TV's most anticipated new drama, Rescue High Surf. On Oahu's dangerous North Shore, is the best ocean safety team on Earth. Two-night premiere event starts tonight. Pass intended for Akins. 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson couldn't step into that throw because Dexter Lawrence collapsed the pocket. He was one-on-one with Wyatt Teller, their right guard, and there was just nowhere for Deshaun Watson to step into.
Only time
Where's the ball at?
for across midfield was following the turnover on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, this has been a dominant performance. The Giants defense has had the Browns offense on their heels.
Half the Browns yards came on that first play, the touchdown pass to Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and I don't think he got the.
No, he didn't get the first down.
Boo Bird's coming out, and I go back to why the
They're
Giants.
calling the play. They're going to call a play sneak here.
Bowen is not known for blitzing like that, and Kevin Stefanski right now just doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah, it caught him by surprise with all this heavy
The
blitzing.
ball back, now this from AT&T.
I have a surprise for you.
I do think Vilma's got a point with that. They're punting now. Nah, it looks like a personnel change. I think Jameis is just coming in the game.
Well, the Browns have left their offense out on the field. 4th down and 1.
First play, 24 yards, only 27 yards since.
And now on the sneak, it's Jameis Winston.
That's close. I don't know.
Looks like he might have gotten there with the second effort.
Giants think they stopped him.
Hey, he got it. He got it.
And the Browns do, in fact, pick up a first down.
Yeah, Jameis Winston, he should think Deontay Foreman, who goes in there late, gets a nice push, just enough to get him over there for the first down.
Browns sent out Winston 3 times the last couple of weeks. Picked up a first down on all 3 occasions, and again here today. Now watch it. Hit to behind. Ball comes loose. Giants have
That's on Dewan. Dewan, come on.
And a takeaway by the Giants defense. Brian Burns, the big acquisition during the offseason.
And
He was the play.
he was questionable today, right? Dealing with
Look at this. Dewan here, one hand stick. He gets lazy with his feet. Look how he's playing from behind and just living on his length there. You can't. That's a horrible set by Dewan Jones. That's terrible.
long.
Like, your feet are so behind the rest of your body here. You're so much bigger than Brian Burns. All you have to do is get your feet there.
for this Giants defense, and that was the first time in a while.
Dewan's got to. That's horrible protection from Dewan Jones.
A big smile. The longtime Carolina Panther with his first sack. Forced the fumble, recovered by Chet.
It's just a sloppy performance. I mean, like, it kind of reminds you of week 1, just how lethargic everything feels out there offensively, defensively. It's just a really lethargic performance after that initial burst of energy that started this game.
From the 30 on first down, on the slant, catch is made by Neighbors, heading for the sideline. First down for the Giants, and the clock stops 26 seconds.
Tell you, Malik Neighbors is working Martin Emerson right now.
Yeah, Martin Emerson's having an awful day. I mean, like, it's almost to the point where I would rather see Greg Newsome get on Neighbors at this point.
Always been good at beating press man, and that run after the catch is what set him apart from a lot of the receivers.
They're just picking on him.
Top 6 pick.
Neighbors lined up in the slot to the right. From the 18-yard line of the Browns. Pass caught by Tracy. Tracy knocked out.
You know what it is, too? The Browns just don't seem as confident attacking downhill as they were last year. They seem like they're waiting, like they're hesitating on something.
It's from both sides. We'll take Daniel Jones offensively. This has been great. What you wanted to see in the first half from the offense, continuation of what they did against the Commanders. So far, they've done a phenomenal job. Cam and Dable have been on the same page, and now you go to Jim Schwartz, defense coordinator on the other side, and saying, all right, how do I adjust? Because I have one corner that cannot guard Malik Neighbors. How do I adjust?
Timeout taken by the Browns. What's coming up at the half, Kurt?
Well, guys, we got 6 2-0 teams playing right now, fighting to remain perfect. Coming up on the Horizon halftime, we'll have all the highlights, including 2 collisions of unbeatens. Something's got to give, right? We'll see you at the half.
All right, thanks, Kurt. We look forward to it. Browns committing a late turnover on the sack by Burns. Neighbors with 5 catches today. And how about Daniel Jones? 16 of 18 in the air.
Daniel Jones has been great. And it's not like he's lighting them up over the top for 50-yard bombs. It's that he's doing exactly what Dable wants. Get the ball out quickly, get it to your stars.
Top of the screen, Neighbors matched up with Emerson once again. Now Jones will run up the middle, inside the 10 to the 5. Giants have the one timeout.
Cannot give up another touchdown here, man.
And they will take it here.
And this is why you spread out this defense. You see Daniel Jones signaling to Tracy, hey, get out there. Now you take a backer out of it, and it's 5-on-5.
Appreciate Jeremy for becoming a member.
Gets the first down, and this has been a really, really good first half for the Giants offense.
And their defense.
Well, you're killing me, Kenny. I mean, the offense is out there right now, so yeah, I'll give them a little love.
Here in the defense, Browns as well.
You're a defensive guy. I love their defense also. Yes, when they get back out there, we'll talk about them.
So now you have 15 seconds, no timeouts. What do you look for here?
because they're so close, they have time to work a crossing route if they want, or they can go to Malik Neighbors at the top against Emerson one-on-one. Penalty marker, false start. False start.
Is that a runoff? Runoff?
There's no runoff for that. All right. Over Menor. We'll say this. We haven't talked about the offensive line much today. Means it.
Bro, why do you think we're not getting under center?
The line has done just good enough.
Have we? I'm trying to think. I mean, if you're having, like, if you don't feel like you can handle their defensive line, getting under center is not necessarily something that's going to help you. Well, that's going to be, who's that going to be on? That's got to be on Miles, right?
Offside. Defense. Unbated to the quarterback. We're 95.
Schwartz needs to adjust and have Denzel or even Greg cover Neighbors.
Going back.
Yeah, because right now Denzel's on Hyatt, but I mean, I just don't think Neighbors is just destroying Emerson. They're going to look for him right here.
A little rough, but so far it's been a lot better. Jones to the end zone. Touchdown. It's Neighbors again.
Right there. I mean, it's obvious what they're trying to do here.
Kenny, we're watching a star in the making. We had the week one. Neighbors didn't do too much.
So right now, that's not on Martin. Martin passes off, goes to Wandale. What happens is they get him one-on-one with your safety there, Ronnie McLeod, and they just take advantage of it. JOK, Ronnie McLeod, whoever it was supposed to be in coverage here, just not alert enough. And, I mean, you just can't have that happen. I mean, now your first half advantage is gone. Your early touchdown advantage is gone. You're going down 14 in the second half. And, like, you can argue this first half of football was worse than the Dallas game. Certainly less productive outside of that one touchdown that you got early in good field position. So, I mean, whatever is happening here, I mean, you could just feel the lethargy coming from this team right now. Like, it just feels lethargic. And it didn't feel lethargic on the road versus Jacksonville, but this week, even after a good start, it feels lethargic. Just outside of that first quarter of play, outside of that first couple of drives, I mean, like, I can't explain to you what's been going on with this team overall, offensively and defensively. Could not explain to you. Like, some of it seemed explainable. Okay, it's here. They're sending more guys. They're blitzing. You just got to adjust to that. But the stuff that's happening on defense, I mean, like, they should be much better than this. Right now, they're giving up 2 touchdowns to Daniel Jones in a half. They have given up, only 3 incompletions to Daniel Jones? I mean, the Browns are the kings of being able to force a low completion percentage. They're giving up high completion percentage to Daniel Jones right now, right? Malik Neighbors is looking like Jerry Rice against you. And I know that Martin Emerson's having a rough day, but in no world Martin Emerson should be getting cooked like this. Like, this is just a horrible effort from every single player on the field right now. It's a horrible effort.
Operating the broadcaster? That's got everything in the world. Why do it? Tell me, why?
Yeah, Tommy. The guy who took a couple snaps from Juco wants answers. Why don't you lay on the beach getting fat on pina coladas? Why not buy a soccer team? One. Dude, why would they ask why? What are they even talking about, kid? What they're really asking is, why don't you quit football? They don't understand it.
All right, man. It's worse than Dallas because the Giants are bad. I mean, we don't even know if Dallas is good, right? Like, it's just, we're just talking about an execution standpoint. This is worse than Dallas. It's not all the quarterback, but again, the quarterback's not really bringing you out of the issue, right? Like he's not playing above the problems that are existing. He's just kind of a bystander there. The offensive line has been an issue. The run game has not looked good today. Like what the team that played in Jacksonville last week just ain't here right now, and I'm just struggling to understand why that's the case.
I knew you could say it. I did it on purpose. I knew it.
Browns with 11 seconds on the clock will take over. What a first half it has been for Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it goes back to the mobility of Daniel Jones, taking what the defense is giving him, and the communication with Brian Dable. Brian Dable's now called the offense, and you can tell that he has Daniel Jones looking at the right things when he's aligned up at quarterback and making those.
I mean, Daniel Jones should not be out here looking better than Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence did. There's no world where that should be the case. But that's the case right now. Daniel Jones has had the most impressive half of football against the Browns defense of any quarterback, and he's the worst one that they've played against. Say 12-minute timer.
12 minutes. Counting down.
I'll be right back to recap the first half. Give me 1 minute. The team needs to fight harder to keep the ball. The team needs to do a lot of stuff, Mighty. I agree with you. We're going to talk about this, though. We're going to get in depth with it. Real quick, we'll go around the league, and then we'll talk about the Browns here. Halftime, Chargers up on Pittsburgh. Minnesota up 14-0 on Houston. So we're not the only team dropping a game, or looking like they might drop a game that they're not supposed to. Denver is up 20-7 on Tampa Bay. New Orleans up 3-0 on Philly. Green Bay up 20-0 on Tennessee. Obviously, the Giants up 21-7 on the Browns right now. Indy up 7 on Chicago at this moment here. So, what's the super chat? It says, was going to wear my new Chubb jersey today. Never mind. Okay. So, what's going on in this game? What are the trends? What can the Browns fix in this game? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how much of this is strategic on the Browns' part. Like, they're just outside of that one drive where they were able to score a touchdown at the beginning of this game. The Browns' offensive drives have gone 5 plays, 11 yards, 3 plays, minus 15, 7 plays, 27 yards. So what, you're plus 23 yards right now. And then a fumble, 5 plays, 0 net yards. The Browns have gained a net yardage of 23 yards in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possessions. Contrast this to last week where the New York Giants gave up 7 scoring drives on against the Commanders, and that's an issue. Your offense should be able to execute at a much higher level than what they've been able to execute today. So We could blame that on the offensive line. I think that's part of it, right? The offensive line is part of it. This is not as demonstratively bad of a game for Deshaun Watson as maybe the Dallas game was. He has been sacked 4 times already in the first half of this game. I think this is more of failure on what the protections are looking like. And I don't know what Watson's involvement is with the protection plan, but if he's involved with the protections of the Cleveland Browns and what they like to run out there from a protection standpoint, then he is a part of the problem here at the very least. So we got to figure out what's going on there. There's been a lot of missed protections, a lot of missed slides here. The Giants just being able to hit on every sim pressure that they send at the Cleveland Browns. The Giants being able to hit on every twist or every overload that they want to send at the Cleveland Browns. It makes absolutely no sense there. Jerome Ford having an absolutely awful day as well here. 4 carries, 4 yards, and that doesn't even begin to speak with it. He's been bad in pass protection, which is unusual for him, and bad as a wide receiver, right? There were a couple of running back drop screens there where he usually catches them, and he's not been able to catch them and get downfield with them. There's been a couple of run plays where there were some lanes for him that he did not take advantage of. So I don't think Jerome Ford's had a good day. I don't think Deontay Foreman's been much different in this game. The offensive line has not had that same push there. The wide receivers haven't really had a good chance to evaluate the wide receivers in this game because the Browns have had like 12 true dropbacks, and then maybe of those 12, like 6 of them unrushed. Have no idea what the wide receivers are doing here, right? And look, we can focus on the offense and the problems that the offense is having right now because, it's not good. 22 net yards, that's a problem. Almost as big as a problem, and I would argue even bigger given the expectation that we have for this team is the performance of the defense right now. 17 of 19 for Daniel Jones, 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. For Daniel Jones. I mean, come on. You know why they're able to get that? They're able to run the ball right now, too, right? 16 carries, 40 yards, but most of those low yardage carries are from like Devin Singletary. Tyrone Tracy, 4 carries, 18 yards. Daniel Jones, 3 carries, 15 yards. You gave up 4 yards on the carry on 4th down to Malik Neighbors. It's like they dropped. You know what it feels like? It feels like they almost got that interception on that second drive or third drive, but they got the penalty by Greg Newsome, and they've been playing lethargic since then. I just don't get it there, right? Maybe they were too amped up for this one. Receiving wise, it's an absolute mess. Malik Neighbors is eating you up. 6 receptions, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns on 6 targets. You ain't done a damn thing about Malik Neighbors all game. Wendell Robinson, 4 receptions on 4 targets. Look at this, man. Devin Singletary, 4 receptions on 4 targets. The secondary isn't providing much resistance here. The fact that you let him get 14 points in the last 3 minutes of the second half is just pathetic for the Browns defense. I know Deshaun Watson fumbled that ball, but he got hit blindside. DeJuan Jones, horrible protection there. Just everything is going wrong for this team right now. They're playing a horrible game across the board. It's another game where I'm saying this. Pick a name from a hat. Like, if you want to blame somebody for this performance, why they're down 21-7 to the New York Giants, like, pick a player from a hat. You could blame that player. You'd probably be right. Other than, like, Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward's been fine. But pick a player from a hat. And it's like, damn. The defense responded to turnovers better last season. The defense was better last season. They're not playing good right now. The defense, this isn't even about the defense responding better to turnovers, Cottonwood. They have not responded well to anything so far. Like, yeah, they gave up a 4-play touchdown drive there at the end of the half, but these last 2 touchdowns, 14 plays, 93-yard drive. A 14-play, 93-yard drive with no resistance. It's not like the Giants got, like, any penalties that went their way. There was no big moment, like, where, like, the Browns got a penalty and that would have been – no. They went 14 plays, 93 yards straight up and down the field on the Cleveland Browns in this game. And they went 13 plays, 81 yards. This is an offense that has struggled in the New York Giants. It brings up questions from the Dallas game. And I know people want to act like the Dallas game did not happen, but This is the second time they've looked like this at home, and also the second time offensively they look like this against a defense that's not playing something like cover 1 50% of the time. You have to wonder if that's part of the problem. Like, can Watson like decipher these coverages fast enough to be able to attack him when he's getting pressured this heavily? I know he's not the problem right now, but like you expect him to be a part of the solution. He's a bystander. There's not a single thing you can really take away from offensively or defensively that you could be happy about. Just a miserable, 1.75 quarters of football? Just a miserable 1.75 quarters of football for this team. Browns have had 5 first downs passing, 2 first downs rushing in this first half. Compare that to 15. Oh, no, my bad. The Browns have 5 first downs in this first half. New York has 15. 15. We're getting beat by first downs by the Giants right here. Third down efficiency. The Browns have been terrible on third down all year. That continues. 1 of 5 right now. 4 of 7 for New York. Total yards, 218 for New York. Browns have 41, 22 total plays. Browns have played 41 yards. Meanwhile, the Giants are not only winning in plays, but also time of possession and also yardage. There's no scheme here that's going to save the Browns. They got to play better than this. Like, they could be in the right scheme, the right fit, the right play call. How they're playing is just not good enough. This is just not good enough. And this level of variance, it can't be on the table for this team. That they cannot dip this low multiple times in one season. It can't be on the table. We can't be getting beaten total yards 41 to 218. I don't care what the reason is. That's ridiculous. 41 to 218. It's ridiculous. This is garbage football by the Cleveland Browns in this first half. There's really no other way to put it. Browns football comes back. They're going to be back from halftime about a minute here. That's really it. Garbage football. The defense is a race car with really stiff suspension and climate control and only driving to get to Dollar General. Man, the defense ain't no goddamn race car right now. Like, it's not about how these guys are being used. I'm going to be honest with you, Greg. Like, the individual efforts are probably the bigger part of the problem than, like, the coaching staff. Like, what is Jim Schwartz supposed to do when Martin Emerson can't do a damn thing about Malik Neighbors? What's he supposed to do? Like, what's he supposed to do with the defensive line not getting any pressure on this Giants offensive line? What's he supposed to do with that? Like, he's scheming. He's trying to get shit going. He's doing some pressure. They're not getting anything going. Like, at some point, it has to be the individual efforts of these players. It's just not good enough. They just got to come out here and play better football in the second half. It's not like brilliant analysis. It's just the truth. They just got to play better than this. The individual efforts have to be significantly better than this. Like, this is just not acceptable.
Today's game flow presented by Progressive with the New York Giants leading the Cleveland Browns 21-7. We get set for the third quarter. Kenny Albert along with Jonathan Philbin. What impressed you the most about the Giants in that first half?
I like how they adjusted to start the game. Defensively, Shane Bowen, not known for blitzing. Love that he started blitzing, had the Browns offense completely off track. Daniel Jones, masterful playing that offensive quarterback position where he went to the outlets, he was in the perimeter, did a phenomenal job, and then went deep when he needed to with Malik Neighbors.
Speaking of adjustments, what do you look for from the Browns?
For the Browns, they need to take a page out of the Giants' offensive playbook. They need to find ways to
You
get
can
the
tell
ball
when we're
to
going to
check down,
lose.
to
I
get the
cut it
ball
off
to the
already. All right, man. We're not about to be defeatist.
Brian Dable of the Giants, and he kind of laughed and said, well, we dodged a bullet there, mentioning the Browns' quick start. But he said, I preach resiliency during practice all week long. This is where it comes into play.
All right, Browns got to be resilient here. Not the start you wanted to get off of, not the half of football, but you talent-wise, you in what you've done before, you are a good enough team to come back from this.
Execute on some opportunities they had. Believes it's indicative of how this game will go if they can start fast.
Third quarter.
Browns only 5 first downs, 41 net yards over the first 2 quarters. Pass incomplete, sails over the head of Jerry Jeudy, 2nd and 10. What a first half for Jones, 17 of 19, 2 touchdown passes, both to Neighbors. Watson, 8 of 11. Touchdown pass early to Amari Cooper. 2nd and 10. He was sacked 4 times in the first half. And he's
It's
taken
not
down
the start you
behind the line
want.
of scrimmage once again. Nunez Roches along with Okereke.
And you're watching the defensive front. They're all just going to collapse the pocket. Dexter Lawrence gets in there. Isaiah Simmons, he's
Watson flushed from that too early. That's on Watson. That sack's on Watson. He flushes from that a little bit early here. He had more time than that.
football for Deshaun Watson.
Out of bounds. Could threw it out of bounds.
3rd down and 12. Pump fake, throw, nearly intercepted.
Yeah, man.
Brian Burns defending, shooting the intended receiver. The Browns go 3 and out.
The Browns offense looks completely confused. And
All right, man. We got to talk about it.
against a wide receiver, right? First 2 weeks, you never saw that. Now all of a sudden they're pressuring from the lineman, similar to what Jim Schwartz does with his defense. But now it's the offense of the Browns that has to figure out where are they coming from, who's dropping, what are they doing.
A 49-second possession, another sack for the Giants. They are 5th. Smith Marset.
Hey, man, some of the problems offensively for this team that showed up in Dallas, that did not show up in Jacksonville, because Jacksonville played a lot of cover 1, seem to be showing up again. It suggests that the issues in Dallas week 1 weren't just week 1 issues. We'll see how the game finishes. But you're starting to see a lot of those issues pop up. Deshaun not really decisive, not really accurate. This is why I told people don't do a victory lap after 1 week. Like, you got to see him do things that he didn't do well against Dallas, better against other opponents. You want to see him pass these tests going forward, because that Dallas game really should have concerned you.
Will a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV will give you many more.
That's really it. I mean, yeah, they're getting pressure. Yeah, the Giants' defense isn't bad, but I mean, I have to imagine this isn't the best play that you can get out of them. Sammy Football says, run the ball, brother. They're down 14. And running the ball, let's pull up the Browns run stats, Sammy Football. Let's do that. Let's run the ball, right? Because I'm all for running the ball when it works. Browns right now got 7 carries for 7 yards. They not running this ball well. That's why they got to throw it. That's why the Giants are able to blitz as frequently as they're able to blitz. We got 1 yard to carry for Jerome Ford. A whopping 3 yards to carry is the high for Deontay Foreman. Jameis Winston, I mean, they don't count as a QB sneak. And Deshaun Watson's got -yard a carry. -yard a carry. for Deshaun Watson. So, I mean, it ain't working either, right? Your run game is averaging a yard per play. Your passing game is averaging 5.
Late July, today he becomes the youngest wide receiver all time with 2 touchdown receptions in a game. Mike Evans had been the youngest.
And he's really living up to that number 1. Remember, he got it from Flaherty, the family, allowing him to wear it. He said, I promise you, I won't do you wrong. I'm going to do right by this number 1. And so far, he is proving right.
Giants start from the 18. Jones, 17 of 19 in the first half. And a diving catch is made by Daniel Bellinger, celebrating his 24th birthday today for a gain of 17.
Yeah, the Giants offense going quickly again. Did he catch it? Did he not? We don't know, but too late. Doesn't matter.
Quickly back up to the line. It's Neighbors. Stays on his feet. You mentioned Ray Flaherty.
So now what you're seeing defensively is that they know that this is kind of embarrassing that the Giants have 21 on them. So now they're like trying to make a play on every single possession, on every single play. They're trying to make a big play. They're trying to get a big hit. And that's going to snowball this even worse. They need to just calm the fuck down and just play defense.
First catch today, second of the...
Offensively, calm the fuck down. Just get it one drive at a time, man. Just take it one possession at a time. You're not going to get it all back in one play. There we go. There we go. There we go. Fumble. There we go. Just one drive at a time. You're down 14. It's not that much. Just one drive at a time. You get the turnover you need on defense, right? It's a fumble, clear fumble by Shelby Harris. Forced it there. And then get the ball back, score, get some points here. Just take it one drive at a time. You got a whole half of football. Whole half of football. Do not try to get it all right here. You don't have to.
Devin Singletary was known for protecting the football. Only had 1 fumble last year. Now he's had 2 back-to-back weeks. He's going to have to do better protecting the football.
So the Browns start in Giants territory. But after Foreman, 8 of 2 on first down.
I'm shocked they haven't rotated Jed off the field.
Same thing. Punch at that football. You know, he had 2 hands, takes one off, and all of a sudden, bam, ball comes out. You see the frustration. They end up losing the game by 3 points, and it's the exact same thing. When you have that many bodies coming around, you know you got to brace for the impact and the tackle. You got to put 2 hands on the football.
First takeaway by the Browns defense this season. They have one on special teams earlier.
And boy, did they need that.
This is Cleveland. Get rid of it. Get rid of the ball.
Throws it away.
Okay.
How's it second, third, and 8 already? That'd be second.
Know where to go with the football. Let's just take a Browns as they develop. Deshaun Watson, he gets the football. They do a little misdirection action and pause it.
Yeah, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. They did a good job covering that
Where
up.
you want him to go with the football. So you have to have an outlet for him so that he can have the check down at least. They're going to go for it here on this 3rd down and long.
It's not 3rd down.
They go for it on 4th down as well.
This is 2nd down, right? Oh, yeah, it is 3rd down. They ran.
Under pressure, steps up, takes off. First down. Deshaun Watson using his legs.
Needed a play here. Good run here by Deshaun.
It's a gain of 13.
And look at Deshaun. He's looking downfield. Usually he likes to stay keeping his eyes downfield. He likes to do that. This time around, he said, nope, going for the first.
Working to throw on first down. Watson. Too far for more.
Yeah, I think that's miscommunication there between Watson and
Over the first 2 weeks.
Elijah Moore. It's going to happen when you have all these choice routes in.
From Deshaun Watson, but he and Elijah Moore had really been having a nice connection. Elijah Moore had been...
Again, don't press. You don't got to press. Don't press. Relax. Get it one play at a time, man.
More to step inside. That's what it looks like. He said step inside as opposed to stepping outside.
2nd and 10. Watson over the middle, off the hands of Cooper, and then nearly intercepted by Isaiah Simmons.
Relax. 3rd and 10. Try to get something here.
That was
You're in field goal range.
Receiver crossing route, no pressure.
Again, it's the same exact thing that happened on defense, right? Everybody's trying to make a play. Everybody's trying to get this shit back in one drive, so you're just too amped and you're doing too much. Just relax. Take this shit play by play, drive by drive. You're only down 2 scores. You've come back 2 scores before, but you're not going to come back 2 scores in one throw.
3rd down and 10. Watson surrounded by Giants. Down he goes. Their 6th sack today. It's Jason Pinnock, who had 2 last week in the game against Washington.
Kick the field goal.
The Browns have had no answer for the blitz off the edge. Pinnock now on the blitz. He wraps around all the way to Sean Watson. Oh.
You get that blitz off the edge, you got to identify it pre-snap. You got to throw right at it. I mean,
they have a blitz coming.
So here's Dustin Hopkins, 53-yard attempt. He's hit on his last 10 from 50 plus. Look to extend that.
Oh my God, did he just jinx us? Yep.
Hopkins from
He jinxed us. I God damn it.
You already know what I'm going to say to you, Ken. Oh, I know. You already know. You jinxer.
Despite the fact that we are hundreds of feet away.
You felt your bad energy.
Everybody's pressing. Everybody's trying to get this shit back in one play. It is only a 14-point deficit. 2 possessions. You can come back from 2 possessions. But you're not going to come back from 2 possessions playing like this, trying to make a play on everything. You come back from 2 possessions by playing good football, getting on the run, getting some momentum going. That's how you come back from 2 possessions. Not pressing, not trying to make something happen every try. Just take what's there, get what you get in some kind of a rhythm, figure it out. Slowly. Gotta calm the fuck down. Gotta calm the fuck down. If you're the Browns, right? And I know fans, the people in chat probably losing their mind right now. Y'all do what y'all want to do. But if you're the Browns, you got to calm down, right? You got to just take this shit one drive at a time. Just get a stop, get some points, get a stop, get some points, see where you're at in the 4th quarter, and then get a stop, and then get some points. What you can't do is make a big mistake that leads to this being a 21-point deficit because you're trying to get it back all in one time. Ray Rag says the team refuses to play complimentary football. No, I don't think that's the case. They played good defense and offense last week. It's just like they're playing anti-complimentary football, which is, hey, we're playing bad defense and bad offense, right? Last year when they weren't playing complimentary football, it'd be like one unit's playing good, the other one's not. I mean, both units have played awful in both Dallas and this game. And I don't know which one's worse right now, the offense or the defense. I mean, the offense has gotten like 22 net yards. The defense, on the other hand, made Daniel Jones look like Brock Purdy.
First play from scrimmage after a Giants turnover on the opening kickoff, but since then, averaging less than a yard per play.
It's been a lot of blitzing, a lot of confusion.
From the 43, Giants take over following the missed field goal. Catch is made by the rookie tight end Johnson, and he picks up a 1st down.
They're going to take advantage of your aggressiveness. They're going to expect you to be aggressive here. You can get some stops here just by understanding that, right?
No forward blocking, and you see him blocking there. Alex Wright assumes that he's going to continue blocking him, releases him, and gets a nice play, nice screen for a big gain.
Jones now 20 of 22, with 17 completions in the first half. A new career high. From the 44, Jones.
Oh my God.
going deep.
Well, he had
And it's Malik Neighbors again. Put Denzel Ward on him for the love of goodness.
outside receiver. He's going to stay flat, run like a little hitch or something, and give all this space for Neighbors to run his route. So you essentially
Just put Denzel Ward on him.
because you're inside. Daniel Jones just overthrows him, but he had him there. That was separation from Greg Newsome. Could have been another touchdown.
He already has 2. Second and 10 from the Cleveland 44.
We're going back to him.
Right back to him.
Neighbors. Again defended by Newsom.
3rd and 10. Get him off the field.
You know, I'm not mad at the play call. They literally ran the same play, same coverage, smash concept, and then you have Neighbors who's going to run the exact same route. This time it's not as clean. He doesn't get the separation, but Daniel Jones goes for the 50-50, says, my guy will come down with it. Greg Newsome, nice job defensively. And you see that Greg Newsome understood it was going to be another smash concept where the outside receiver, he's going to just sit there, run a hitch, or stay on the line of scrimmage and provide all that space for Neighbors to run his fade route.
3rd down and 10, penalty flags.
What's the penalty?
False start, Giants.
All right, get him back. Force incompletion. Force a punt.
That's Andrew Thomas once again.
Yeah. At first we thought it might have been on to Darius Smith going too quickly. Andrew Thomas moved just a little bit.
Oh.
Jones scoops it up and then throws it away.
All right. Force the punt. There you go. One drop. What's the flag? What's the flag? Okay. All right.
It was over the flag. It's 4th down.
One drive at a time, y'all. One drive at a time. All right, you got one stop. Let's get a score here. Plenty of time. Plenty
But I
of time.
still like the play call because we talked about how the offense needs to stretch this defense. You take those shots, keep the safeties honest. Yeah, they didn't make it that time. You go back to it next series or in the 4th quarter.
Dillon. More flags. False start. Offense.
It'll be good for field position.
Hurts.
Now, if I remember correctly, Jamie G's got a boot. He just doesn't have a good control on his boot.
To 7. Dillon from his 35. For Shea. Takes it at the 8. Spins.
Good job. Way to get normal field position out there.
Giants looking for more.
All right. It's one drive at a time. Just take it one drive at a time. You got 9:40 left. You're only down 2 scores. You score here, you change the game, right? Just take it one drive at a time, man. We'll worry about the rest when we got to worry about the rest. But as far as this game goes, one drive at a time. Dragon Cuddles, $5 super chat says, I need you to give Watson that Ike Turner look you be having on them thumbnails. I am not familiar with what you're referring to with the Ike Turner look, but I'm pretty sure if this game ends how it's going right now, it's not going to be a fun look on the thumbnail. One drive at a time. The Giants are not above blowing this. Just play competent football. Take what's there. Let's take it a drive at a time. Let's get some momentum going offense. We haven't had one single extended drive offensively. We haven't had a 12-play drive, a 8-play drive, a 9-play drive. We ain't had one of those all game. It's be a good time for one, right? Calm everybody the hell down. Let's get a long drive. If you all know the scores around the league, 10-10, Los Angeles, Pittsburgh. Houston losing now 21-0 to Minnesota. New Orleans 3-0, Denver 20-7, Green Bay 27-14. We know the score of the Browns game right now. And then Chicago down 3-7. Really need a long scoring drive here. Yeah, the Browns haven't gone more than 27 yards on a drive. So, 2 first downs? Got to clear that. Got to clear that. Thing that was encouraging last week was that you had multiple long drives, sustained drives. Right now, you're not even getting the penalties. You're just not getting the long drives here.
Round Palones competed head-to-head. Phil Dawson's alumni flag football game. Joe Hayden and Josh Cruz, the team captains. Congratulations to both Phil Dawson and Jim Donovan, inducted into the class of Browns legends today. Cleveland on first down. Watson looking for Cooper. Watson now over his last 6. Phil Dawson, the second leading scorer in franchise history, trails only Lou the Toad Groza. Donovan, the radio voice of the Browns for a quarter of a century, battling cancer. He said our best wishes to Jim, but big congratulations to both Phil Dawson and Jim Donovan.
Well deserved, Kenny. Well deserved.
2nd and 10. Watson.
There you go.
Underneath. He has been over his last 6. Akins takes it out to the 27, and we head down to the field. Check in with Megan.
Thank you so much, Kenny. Well, the Browns number 77, right guard Wyatt Teller spent some time in the injury tent.
Wyatt Teller's out now. Okay.
Into the tunnel on his own. Being told that he is ruled out the rest of this game.
All right.
So Zach Zinter now in, replacing Teller at right guard, and James Hudson in the game at right tackle for DeJuan Jones. Third down and 2. Watson, quick release. It's 4.
Good job, Ford.
Brings it down.
Did DeJuan Jones get benched, or is DeJuan Jones hurt? Because he has his helmet on the sideline. I think he got benched.
His 3rd touchdown pass of the day. This one is Jalen Naylor from 4 yards out. Minnesota rolling up 21-0 on the Texans.
How impressive has Sam Darnold been over the first 3 weeks? Outstanding against the Giants. Threw a 97-yard touchdown pass last week.
He got hit while he threw that, but yeah, man.
2nd and 10.
And Sam Darnold doing a number on Deshaun Watson's whole team, right? And Deshaun Watson having issues of his own today.
Watson now 10 of 20. Touchdown pass to Cooper on his first attempt. He has been sacked 6 times.
It's a blitz.
2nd and 10. Watson to the outside. It's complete. Jerry Jeudy.
It's a first down.
For a first down.
There you go.
And we haven't called Judy's name at all today. This is someone who really needs to step up for them, right? He's supposed to be a top wide receiver. Won the Bolitnikov in college. I want to see that speed and explosion. I haven't seen that from him yet.
Spent some time with Brian Dable.
There you go.
Dable was on Nick Saban's staff. Browns pick up a first down.
Slow and steady. Slow and steady.
Shuffling some defensive players. Kayvon Thibodeau back on the field.
Yeah, offensive lineman James Hudson just went out. DeJuan Jones came right back in for him. And going back to stretching the defense, speed and explosion, that is one thing that is really missing from this Browns offense. They were expecting Judy to be that guy, and so far it hasn't been.
On the 46, on first down, here comes Thibodeau.
DeJuan Jones comes into the game and immediately whiffs on Kevon Thibodeau. Immediately. Look at this. Look at this shit. Right here. He doesn't even get 3. 1, 2. Come on, DeJuan. What's going on with your feet today, man? Feet look heavy as hell right now. This is crazy. Come on, DeJuan. That's why I think he got benched. That's the second time that's happened in this game today.
Issue with an offensive line.
And Jed's hurt.
Jedrick Wills, the starting left tackle, is down. Giants leading by 14. Back in a moment.
All right, man. Let's get to a manageable third down. Try to get the first down. Try to get in field goal range. Try to get a touchdown. Jason Kipnis was the dog pound captain today. Maybe that's why they look like this. To be fair to the offense, this is their best drive of the game right now. Right? They're on a 7-play, 19-yard drive. Multiple first downs. Probably your best drive of the game. I mean, DeJuan Jones does not help coming in and just immediately giving up a sack. Like he's played an awful game today. Like, I think he got benched. And I don't know if James Hudson's healthy right now. Because if James Hudson's not healthy, it's going to be a Fetty at left tackle if Wills is hurt. And you're already playing DeJuan, who's playing awful right now. After coming off a really strong week last week.
Come on. Hey.
Let's try to get a penalty or something, get a first down. That'd be nice.
There's Jedrick Wills. They just got him back for this game.
That's super unfortunate. Hopefully it's just a scare. They got Joel at left tackle right now, so that tells me James Hudson's hurt.
Nick Harris in center. Pass completed, taken. So all kinds of injury issues along this Browns offensive line and players moving to different positions.
And this is one way to help the offensive line when they're young, or I shouldn't say young, just inexperienced at the positions they're in. You start to go empty personnel, spread.
So they slid Posick to guard.
Nick Harris, Ethan Posick to now call their protection, know where they're going to slide.
Throw down an 8. Here comes Thibodeau. Watson gets rid of it. He was hit. The Browns will send out the punting unit once again. There was Brian Burns with the pressure.
And he goes right over to the left side of that
Yeah,
offensive
hit as he
line.
threw it.
Him ready to attack all the backups, right? They even had Jordan Akins try to chip him.
DeJuan again. DeJuan, that's DeJuan. Look at the run around. And then Burns hits his hand. What's worse? Who's having a worse game, DeJuan Jones or DeJuan's having a much worse game than Martin? Because at least if Martin is giving up a bad game to a really good player and Neighbors. And it's not really a great matchup for him either. Dewan is just giving it up to anybody who's over there on the right side right now. Like it's bad. It's really bad for Dewan. We cannot continue to have this level of variance with this team, man. Like, they cannot be capable of this horrible of a performance. We talk about it from an individual standpoint. Like, Dewan can't start there if this is in the range of possibilities for him in a start. Like, he cannot start until he gets rid of that. I understand he's capable of a great start, but he's got to get rid of this shit. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. It's like his feet are stuck in cement today. Both times he's given up a sack. He's caught reaching, not moving his feet, not kicking. Like, come on. Can't be in the cards. Cannot be in the cards. And ladies and gentlemen, as crazy as that sounds, you're coming off of your best offensive drive of the game. 9 plays, 29 yards. Your best offensive drive of the game. Ends in a punt. That's your best offensive drive.
Ready? Let's go. And TV's #1 game show is back and even bigger. This is not the same for. Get ready for playtime. This Wednesday is the premieres of The Masked Singer and the Floor on Fox.
October baseball. It's different. It's putting your money to work. Getting your city with burn. Wild card playing the keeps. Yeah, October's different. NFL postseason begins on Fox FS1.
Malik Neighbors has lined up everywhere for the Giants offense, and Brian Dable, let's give him credit, as he was trying to figure out how are they going to guard Malik Neighbors. Once they figured out that you motion across, he's going to always be matched up on Martin Emerson, their second quarterback. And because of that, Neighbors takes advantage of it. Daniel Jones sees it. They get the first touchdown. Then they go back in the red zone, and they try to play zone. There is no way a safety is going to cover Malik Neighbors. No chance at all. And Rodney McLeod was, fortunately, the victim of Malik Neighbors on that play again.
Neighbors matched up here, top of the screen with Ward. As the Giants get some breathing room. Singletary takes it out.
Another opportunity to let go by him. Get a chance to have him backed up on the goal line. Let him get 10 yards on the run here. First play. Come on.
Yeah, this one has been much more purposeful. And I remember week 1 when we asked Brian Dable, head coach, you see him there, about, what is so good about him? He said, we've thrown everything at him. And because of that, they've been able to have these adjustments in game with Malik Neighbors where he can go and be productive, not just sitting outside.
Singletary again. Neighbors, the highest drafted wide receiver in Giants history. All-time leading receiver at LSU. The last Giant with a 1,000-yard season. Odell Beckham Jr. back in 2018, and he has drawn many comparisons, both former LSU Tigers.
Yep.
Both started their careers with the Giants.
And now he's going to have to get ready for seeing the #1 corner every time. He's been working the #2.
Out of all the teams I could have had.
That's going to stop.
Yeah, man. It's been that kind of day.
Second down at 9.
First down.
Browns as he crosses the 25. Giants pick up another first down. Huge stretch for the Giants. They start the season 0-2 in Cleveland today, leading by 14. Home for the Cowboys this Thursday night.
And this is really good for the Giants fans, Brian Dable, Giants team, to see that they can compete with any really good team, right? The Browns defense is a really good defense.
Browns won 11 games last year, went to the postseason. This night starting 5 different quarterbacks. Singletary out to the 27-yard line. Under 4 minutes remaining. Third quarter. Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, David O'Leary, and Blandino helping us out. And Eddie.
You taking Miles out for Isaiah McGuire?
This defense,
He must be on the snap count.
Trying to figure out, okay, where's the opportunity for the Giants, right? They were flying around against Jacksonville, making play after play, and the Giants have done a really good job so far against them.
Second down and 8. Jones.
There you go.
Take it down. Get the 20-yard line.
Let's get him off the field here.
With the sack.
And Bobo's coming right off the edge. And what's going to happen is that you have the backers, they're up in the box. The linemen are taking care of that. There is no running back in the backfield to help with the protection. So this is a hot read for Daniel Jones. They have to figure out they can get it hot. If not, hold on to the football, take the sack. And you see the frustration. Either someone didn't run their hot route or there was a miscommunication.
Second Cleveland sack today. Third down and 16. Giants keep it on the ground.
All right.
With Tracy.
Try to score here going into the fourth, man. Score here going into the fourth. Come on.
Point of the day, and it's Saquon Barkley. Up the middle through a huge hole. He turns on the speed and will outrun everyone for a 65-yard touchdown. Eagles on top, 7-3 over the Saints. Kenny?
The former Giant, Saquon Barkley, 3 touchdowns, week 1. The big play in the final moments, Monday night against Atlanta. He dropped it.
Yep.
And now another touchdown today. Singletary now wearing his number in New York.
Singletary had the fumble today. He had the fumble last week.
Also scored a touchdown today.
Also scored a touchdown. So
excellent punt taken at the 18 by Prochet.
nice tackle.
Tremendous coverage downfield by Bryce Ford Wheaton following the 57-yard punt.
It's definitely my Professor Chaos. Yeah, Professor Chaos was undisciplined this week and did predict a booty beatdown. Which don't know why you do that.
The Browns staff learned firsthand what it's like to work for an NFL team. Why do I have the impression that you always had close to perfect attendance?
I did. You know me too well.
No shock. From the 21 on first down, it's 4.
That's how you get them out those blitzes.
Gains 10.
And Browns look like they're going to go hurry up. Sean Watson calling the play from the line of scrimmage.
7 sacks. Last time they did it, last time they were here in Cleveland. 8 seasons ago.
Got it.
Screen is 4. Another first down.
There you go.
Finally brought down to the Giants.
There you go. Finally something going on offense.
There goes Jerome Ford. You see Michael McFadden getting in there. All the linemen say,
Like I said earlier. Look, I said this earlier. The way you get them out those blitzes, runs, and screens, that's what they've done these first 2 plays. Get rid of it. It's going to be a hold. Just get rid of it. Don't take the hit.
McFadden unable to take him down. Looks like this one is coming back.
you have a guard.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
You have a guard who is, because of injuries, had to move out to left tackle and is going against one of the fastest outside linebackers / DNs.
That's not where the hold happened. Where did the hold happen?
It's just not fair, right?
What was the hold?
You can be mad all you want if you're a Browns fan.
That wasn't a
It is
hold.
what it is. It's just not fair.
He
Like,
just failed.
You're not fast enough to keep up with a guy like Burns.
Antonio, the 6-time Pro Bowler, senior member of this Browns squad, moving over to replace the injured Wills at left tackle. Watson's pass is complete. Out of midfield, it's Akins.
2nd and 15.
As time winds down towards the end of this third quarter.
Only down by 14, man. You can come back from 14 in a quarter. It's going to be a little tough, but you can come back from 14 in a quarter as long as you maintain that. Got to start scoring here, though. Got to start scoring here. Got to wake up here offensively. Had a couple first good plays. I mean, got behind the sticks because of a holding call. Debatable whether that was a good holding call or not. But let's get past midfield here. We ain't got past midfield in a possession all game. Only time we've had the ball above midfield has been off turnovers, a fumble and two fumbles. How could a guy like me from my desk chair see at the end of the year this O-line needed help, but yet AB said, nah, we're good with this? I mean, dude, this ain't the starting offensive line, Mike, that's struggling. Joe Bitonio's at left tackle right now. Like, clearly, yeah, shit's not going right, but it's not like, oh, Jack Jed and everything went to plan and now, that's what's going wrong here. Just take this one drive at a time, score here, and make it fine here. Again, if you want to make this about the offensive line, fine, but also talk about the defense. Also talk about all the other stuff going wrong with the team right now. I mean, you can have better offensive line play. It's not like the quarterback play's been good in this game. Not like the run game's been good in this play. It's more than just the O-line, man.
Not much has gone right for the Cleveland Browns today. They've lost 48 yards on 7 Giant sacks, only 35 yards on the ground, and lost 48.
All right, Deshaun, you say fourth quarter's your best quarter. We need it.
Trailing by 2 touchdowns. Second and 15 as we begin the fourth quarter. Watson again under pressure as we head down and check in with Megan.
Thanks, Kenny. Well, this Browns offensive line is moving all around here due to some injuries. James Hudson made his way to the locker room, escorted by some of the medical staff. He's questionable to return with his shoulder, as is Jedrick Willis, who's questionable to return with the knee. So there's a lot of moving parts here, guys.
So Willis remains out. We have from left to right, Antonio, Posett, Harris, Center, and Jones. Going down at 15. Watson with time. Pass is dropped. Akins unable to make the catch. Banks defending. And the Browns will punt it away early in quarter number 4. More boos from the crowd here in Cleveland. They finished 8-1 at home last season. Lost their opener here to the Dallas Cowboys. In danger of dropping this one. And their next 3 games will be on the road. Browns will travel to Las Vegas.
Honestly, I think they'll do better on the road than they do at home.
They're going to have to clean up the communication. Now there's the blueprint for how to stop the offense, right? Dallas started with all the pressure. Giants are doing the same. They're going to have to figure out how to attack those pressures, counter it.
Giants offense back out onto the field. Start your Saturday strong with big news Saturday. Fresh off a huge win over USC, the 18th ranked Wolverines back in the spotlight as they battle Minnesota in a Big Ten clash. It all starts at 10 a.m. Big noon kickoff, followed by Minnesota and Michigan Saturday at noon, right here on Fox. Brian Daboll back in Cleveland. There's our colleague Brady Quinn.
Speaking of college football, Brady Quinn does a great job on Big Noon Kickoff.
Brian Dable, the offensive coordinator here under Eric Mangini for a couple of seasons. The 2009-10.
There you go. Good stop.
Singletary gains a yard on first down. Dable, the coach of the year 2 seasons ago. Stefanski has won it twice. And Mike Vrabel is now a consultant here in Cleveland. We asked Stefanski about it. He calls Vrabel the human resource.
Yeah, Mr. Everything for them, right? He helps on blocking. He helps in the meeting rooms. He goes to the offensive side, defensive side, does whatever Kevin Stefanski asks of him. And there's Dable, coach of the year, both of them. I mean, they let you know they know what they're doing. They just have to continue and be consistent.
Second down and 9. Jones
Oh.
from his end zone. He took a hit.
Oh, they both fought over it.
Pass nearly picked off by Ward. Third down and 9.
And this is one of the rare times you see the design of the play to get Daniel Jones out of the pocket. There's Shelby Harris again, almost making another big momentum-changing play. Derek Ward.
Denzel just didn't catch that.
Was able to knock it out, save themselves an interception.
Third down and 9 for Jones and the Giants.
Short.
Needed to get to the 19-yard line.
Now they're saying incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
All right, good field position here. Not a lot of time they took off the clock.
And
Yep.
yeah, definitely hit the ground. Nice call by the officials with a little help.
Good job by the defense. Way to get them off the field really quickly. I think you lost like maybe 40 seconds. You'll get the ball around the same place.
This would be a great opportunity for the Browns. The Browns defense did a great job, forcing the 3-and-out backed up. Now the Browns offense can possibly have really good field position to start this series.
Crochet across midfield.
All right.
Tackled at the Giants 49.
All right, man. Got to start it here. If you want to come back, tie this game at least in regulation. Got to come back here. Got to start here. Stack some drives. Play some complimentary football. If you want to do it, this is the time to do it, man. This offense is not my fault. Yeah, Professor Chaos, I don't want to hear from you for the rest of the day. Just save your money. Send it in the booty beatdown. You know goddamn better than that. I don't know why you lost your mind. Yeah. Somebody time out Professor Chaos for a couple hours here. He don't need to be talking. He ain't say nothing crazy in chat. He just he sent in a booty beat down on AFC North talking. I don't know why he did such things. Knowing that the curse exists. It's not the last chance, but it's your last time to do this without rushing, right? Like you still have the whole playbook available to you. You can run the ball a little bit here, right? Think those plays are starting to get made? Let's see, man. Let's see. You're only down 14. Like you're still in this game. You score a touchdown. It's a one-score game all of a sudden. Got to get it going, though, offensively. Someone mad that Watson threw a 5-yard pass on 3rd and 15. Hey, look, man, a lot of reasons to be upset at Deshaun Watson in this game and off the field. Throwing a 5-yard pass on 3rd and 15, that's not one of them. What you want them to do? Make it worse by trying to make a 20-yard throw when they're in quarters coverage and throwing an interception? You want them to make it worse? No, just take what's fucking there. Definitely don't need to listen to that guy. Giants have been trying their best to let us back in this game. Absolutely.
Browns only 10 first downs, and they punted 6 times.
Yeah, obviously not good, but I do like that they started this off.
Yeah, offense got to do something here, man.
Deshaun Watson, get him away from all that pressure. The only problem is that you're now limited to half the field, right? You're not able to throw or do a full field scan.
Second down at 5. Here's Ford.
Good run for it. Good run for it. Ford wants to win this game, man. Much better second half.
2, gain of 12.
Man, this is a great individual effort.
I'll take the blame for Dallas one since I joked A should Ray Rags. Oh, I thought that was Professor Chaos that sent that.
Him, Fabio Carrique, great effort by Jerome Ford to get that first down.
McFadden shaken up.
Yeah, he was down for a while, then tried to get back up and jog off, and he just couldn't do it.
5 tackles and a sack for McFadden today.
It's kind of pointing to his back. Won't speculate on it, but McFadden has been a very big addition, or excuse me, very productive player. And there's Darius Slayton going to the locker room as well. Well, this has been a tough game for both sides. Injuries are really hitting both sides of the team.
Well, the Giants 32. Watson stays out.
Wow.
Before to tackle inside the 20.
Big play by Watson there. All right, we're down to the 15.
His best run today, 14 yards.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. The first time was roll out left. Now he's rolling to the, roll out right. Now he's rolling to the left. And you can see he's not going to waste any time anymore looking down the field. If he feels that pressure, he's going to take off and run.
First down, full. Is complete.
There you go. I think that's going to be on Thibodeau. Offsides.
6.
That's on Thibodeau or Burns. Yeah. Hey, go empty tray, empty tray, empty tray. Run this quarterback blast right now, right now, right now.
2 tight ends. Excuse me, 3 tight ends into the game.
Akins, Whitehart, and Swain.
Now, you do have a one-on-one matchup at the bottom.
Nah, don't take it.
First to go. Fake to Foreman. There it is.
Got it. All right. Back in this. Only down 7 now. 1 possession game. Back in this. Are they not going for 2, right?
Ken Dorsey, Kevin Stefanski, they have one-on-one with those 10 years in the league. You know he knows how to run a slant route in the red zone. And Deshaun Watson just
Good Lord. I mean, fourth quarter Deshaun Watson feels real, but like, God damn, can we get a better 3 quarters before we get to this? Oh, my God.
Giants 49.
Why are we going for 2?
For 2.
They're going to go for 2. Go quarterback blast.
To Bolton in 6. It's already a 1-score game.
Got it. Okay. All right. It's a good call now that you got it. The Browns have actually been pretty. Here's the weird thing about the Browns offense. When they get to the red zone, they score touchdowns. It takes heaven and earth for them to get to the red zone. But when they get there, the Browns score. I think the Browns have been to the red zone, 4 times before this game, 6 times now. They've only not scored a touchdown 1 time in the red zone. They're 5 for 6 with touchdowns in the red zone. When they get there, they can score. It's the weirdest thing in the world. It just takes heaven and earth for the Browns to get to the red zone. I guess you go for 2 here so you don't have to worry about like if you score again, you just tie it. Like you could take the lead. I didn't think they were in that much of a time crunch, to be honest with you, though. Like it didn't feel like they're at the top of the 4th quarter. I think they don't have to worry about being in that much of a time crunch. All right, man. 1 drive at a time, though. Like I said, not down by that much. Now you're only down by 6 points. Play some defense here. Get the ball back. Build on it. Just 1 drive at a time. You got a whole 4th quarter to go. You scored pretty quick there, but we'll see. I wonder if Dustin Hopkins is hurt. Is Dustin Hopkins hurt? Let me see. Nah, nothing on Dustin. Way to fight, Browns. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. That's a step in the right direction. Got to keep walking. Got to keep walking.
It's here to support.
Got to keep walking. You're only down by 6. Get back in this game, man.
It's a great job by Jerry Jeudy to get Dave Bell on his heels. There's no way he's going to be able to break and make that play. I like the Browns going for 2. Now they're only down 6 because they're clearly going for the win. If they get another touchdown, all they have to do is execute the extra point, and they have the lead. I like that because it hasn't been a pretty game for them. Somehow they're still within 1 score.
Giants have other ideas, hope to add to their lead. They will start from the 30.
Goodness gracious. Thank you, Luke Johnson, for the $2 super chat.
Offense back on the field. They have only 4 first downs since halftime.
And I was going to say, the Browns defense has quietly played well this second half. Forced a 3 and out, and you see only 52 yards this half for the Giants. They were rolling in the first half. Second half, Browns defense is starting to step up.
Cleveland high and time to straight in for the injured Darius Slayton. Jones escapes on first down.
Gotta be a hold. Gotta be a hold. There you go. It's coming back. It's gonna be 1st and 15.
First down yardage.
1st and 15.
Looks like it's coming back.
Yeah, Daniel Bellinger is pleading his case to all the officials. No one's buying it.
They went for 2 because they feel good about getting 2 field goals to tie the game. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's an obvious hold.
Grant Delpit, he's doing, it looks like.
All right. Remember that scoring drive they gave up in the first half. They got a hold. They did not take advantage of the extra yardage they got. They can't give that up right here. Got to get them in a 2nd and long situation here.
Meanwhile, you have Neighbors at the top, and it's been Denzel Ward covering him this full second half. There's Denzel Ward. First down and 16 following the penalty. Jones throws. It is
No good. There you go.
This is what I was talking about, Kenny. You're not going to
Different world with Denzel Ward on him.
You're not going to get the second, third corner anymore. You're going to get the best. And so now it's great on great. Denzel Ward is doing a great job of covering him. The ball definitely bounced on the ground. That's a great call by the officials, but I'm really liking this matchup. We were hoping to see this matchup more, and Malik Neighbors forced the issue.
Neighbors 6 catches in the first half, only 1 in the second.
Good job.
Jones complete. Robinson.
All right, 3rd and long. 3rd and long here. Don't give up a penalty.
By Greg Newsom.
Get them off the field.
The Giants now facing a 3rd down and 12.
And all of a sudden, you're seeing a little more life coming into this Browns team, led by this Browns defense. The crowd getting into it. Love to see that they're really getting after it. They're not just going to bow down to the Giants.
Giants must get to the 40 for a first down. Jones takes off.
Got him. Greg Newsom's hurt.
makes the play. So the Giants will send out the punting unit.
What happened to Greg?
And this is a tremendous job. This is what Jim Schwartz has always wanted. Rush 4, get pressure, and then force the quarterback to step up, and Zadarius Smith makes a...
Oh, Ronnie Hickman ran into Greg.
Now let's watch Myles Garrett. Oh, he runs right into Jermaine or Luminor.
His college teammate.
Yeah.
They spent some time together during warm-ups.
Is Miles down too?
For it. Clearly he wasn't ready for it. Now he's down.
Played together at Texas A&M. And now the crowd chanting Myles Garrett's name.
All right, fortunately he's up.
And remember when it was questionable whether the city of Cleveland loved Myles Garrett, and now it's like he gets an immediate Myles Garrett chant. Brings a smile to his face.
Michael Strahan and Howie Long on the pregame show today.
Yeah, I'm saying what's great with the fans, how they appreciate him.
Hopefully his foot's fine.
But he's meant to this Browns organization and how hard he plays.
Room. Let it go. Let it go. There you go. All right, Browns. What they have not done all day, right? The Browns have scored two of the 3 times they've gotten the ball in New York territory. They've scored touchdowns. Now what they have to do, get a ball on the 20, get a drive here. Let's get a drive. Let's take control of this game. Let's take the lead here. Let's seize the momentum here, okay? They have not sustained a drive past the 50-yard line when they have not started in Giants territory all game. Let's get that off the list here. Let's go.
61 yards on the ground today. McFadden back on the field, shaken up earlier.
Now the Browns did have success on that last series, so let's see if the Giants are going to counter against what the Browns are starting to do.
Here's Ford, and it's McFadden. Runs right into the arms of the Giants linebacker, 2nd and 9.
I was going to say, good to see him back out there. Him and Bobby Okereke are really, really good at the backer position. McFadden, more of the thumper, more aggressive. He gets downhill, as you can see. He gets in on those stops. Gets a lot of TFLs because of how aggressive he is.
TFL tackle for loss.
Thank you, sir.
Still have the shuffled Browns offensive line with Patonio at left tackle, Dulcich at left guard, Harrison at center. Watson looking for...
Got him! 2 feet! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good throw, good catch.
Let's take a look at the feet, Kenny.
1, 2. Ooh! Cool!
His ups and downs the last 2 weeks, having a big day today.
And he still doesn't get the separation, but he goes up and snatches the ball out of the air every time.
Under 9 minutes remaining. Giants lead the Browns by 6. From the 43 on 1st down. Watson near side. Cooper.
There you go.
Right at midfield.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about when you start throwing deep, right? It now forces the corners to play off man. The safeties are playing backed up, and it gives Cooper these out routes, these speed outs. All the opportunity is right there for you to start stretching the field.
Gain of 7. 2nd and 3.
Good run. And that's the first time they've crossed the 50.
The tackle at the Giants' 44-yard line.
Giants defense needs to go back to blitzing. That worked in the first half. They have not been as aggressive the second half. And now the Browns are starting to get into a rhythm. Shane Bowen, if you see him there, he needs to get that defense fired up with the 5th man rushing.
Why do you think they have not been as aggressive?
Well, they had the lead. It was a 2-score game. They felt like they were in complete control, so now you play the long game, right? You let everything get in front of you.
From the 44. Fumble! Ball was loose. Ford. Unable to take the handoff from Watson.
Can't do that.
Well, the Giants have the cover.
Azeez El-Jabari, he gets it.
What the fuck, Jerome? What the fuck?
What happened?
I mean, it's right in his chest. He just didn't grab it.
Since mini camp, training camp, preseason, the first couple weeks, he places it right in the belly for Jerome Ford, and I can't explain it. All I know is that you have a Kevin Stefanski.
All right, defense. Bail us out. Bail us out, defense. Need the defense to bail us out. Dude Staley was not trying to hear whatever he was trying to give him, dog. Bail us out, defense.
From the Giants. Scored a touchdown, 2-point conversion on their last possession. We're driving once again. They turn it over. So now the Giants with excellent field position from the 46 on the slant. It is Neighbors into Browns territory to the Cleveland 46. A gain of 8 on Neighbors' 8th catch.
And this is the second half offense for the Giants. 4 punts, only 4 first downs. Lost a fumble early on by Devin Singletary. And Brian Dable talking with his quarterback, Daniel Jones. He calls the plays now, trying to figure out what will work. And Jerome Ford is over there with Deuce Staley. Deuce Staley was a really good running back in the NFL. But I'm glad that he's been coaching. He's done a great job.
Got some great years with the Eagles.
Really did.
Second down and 2.
That's fine.
Singletary picks up a Giants first down under 7 minutes on the
Get him in this set. Got to get him in this set. Got to get him in this set.
Next, most of you will see Lamar Jackson, who's in an unfamiliar place. 0-2 in his career, looking for his first win of the season, taking on a Cowboys team also looking to rebound after last week's tough loss to the Saints at home. It's America's Game of the Week. Coming up next.
Who would have thought the Cowboys and Ravens would have a combined record of 1-3 heading into this matchup?
With all the talent that both teams have, the coaching just tells you how close a fine line it is in the NFL from winning and losing.
New set of downs for the Giants following the Browns turnover. Jones under pressure. Neighbors unable to make the catch.
They got what they wanted, too, there. They got Emerson on Neighbors. They ran so many motions to force that matchup.
Jeremiah coming off the edge, forcing that throw, and had Daniel Jones had a little more time, he would have thrown it accurately to Neighbors.
All right, come on.
To see that Jeremiah,
Boy, a sack here would be huge.
really started to come into his own as one of the really good linebackers in the NFL.
Good news for the Browns with Myles Garrett back on the field for this defensive series. Second down and 10. Jones pass.
Good tackle. Great tackle, Grant. Oh, good tackle.
Myles Garrett. Good job, Andrew Thomas. And as we mentioned early on, Myles Garrett gave Andrew Thomas a lot of respect. So far, it's been good. The total yards this quarter only 28 for the Giants, 85 for the Browns. But Myles Garrett, glad to see he's back in the game. Now we need to see if he's going to have some production.
It's been a fun matchup to watch. Giants and Dockenberger on third down in the second half, and they do not on this attempt. Pass was intended for Wandale Robinson.
Long field goal here. Still makeable.
Speaking of Myles Garrett, shows up in a timely fashion, going one-on-one against Andrew Thomas. Gets right around the corner, gets a nice hit on Daniel Jones. Forces that fourth down.
So now the punting unit will come on. Ball spotted at
They're punting it.
I'll
take it. Now, Gillen's always had like a questionable history with these kind of punts when he was with the Browns.
When they scored on that drive in the second half, it wasn't a 60, 70-yard drive. They had great field position, and then they went 49 yards. So there's nothing that's telling me, if I'm the Giants, there's nothing that's telling me the Browns can take it 80 yards down the field and score.
So the Giants could not capitalize on the takeaway by their defense, punting for the 5th consecutive possession. And it will bounce into the end zone.
Good job, James. All right, y'all. Clinch butt cheek time. 2nd and 8.
But BROWNS have a one key play against Antonio. That's right. 2nd down and 8.
Got it.
Amari Cooper comes down with it.
3rd and short.
1 yard shy of a first down.
Shane Bowen did go back to the blitz. You're going to see Michael McFadden, Bobby Okereke getting in there. Browns do a nice job picking it up. And Deshaun Watson moving around in the pocket, looking to throw. Of course, he's going to go to Amari Cooper. You know he's going to go to his guy. That is his man.
Oh, they're going Jameis here.
Now, Winston is in the game for the 3rd and short.
Converted earlier.
Oh, he didn't catch it. Look at Tibbs, a huge play.
I feel like you got to go for it if you're the Browns.
Winston in the quarterback. It's the other number 5, Thibodeau, who wins the battle.
Man, Thibodeau just goes in there and wrecks shop. And what I like about Thibodeau, it doesn't matter about the sacks. Has he gotten it? He plays hard. Watching him play, watch the film, he gets after it, and that's a tremendous play by Thibodeau.
4th down, offense stays on the field. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Do you agree?
I do agree.
Browns call timeout.
Taken by the Browns.
On the Browns, I run quarterback blast here. I go start with the running back out in there, check out into empty, and just go quarterback blast.
Your defense has played well in the second half, right? They forced punts. They got a turnover. Offensively, you have to continue this rhythm. They had a little rhythm early on. It slowed down a little bit, but there's nothing left, right? You punt the football, okay, now the defense doesn't stop or whatever happens. What are you going to say? It's on the defense? No, it's your offense. Get after it. Here's a QB comparison, and Daniel Jones, as we said, first half was electric. Second half, not so much, and then Deshaun Watson has started to turn it on in the second half.
Huge play here. 4th down and 1. Watson on 4th down. Can't find anyone. Tries to extend.
He got it. I think he got it.
It's rolled down.
We're going to have to challenge the spot,
Looks
though.
to be just short.
We're going to have to challenge the spot.
Down.
Challenge the spot.
Moved down at the 29. So the Browns stopped on 4th down.
Let's take a look. This was
Right at the 30. I thought he had Atkins there. That elbow is down. Where's that elbow down? Tillman's in the way.
There is the line to gain, and it does not look like Deshaun Watson
Yep.
got there, because when the left elbow went down, that's where it is marked. It's not when he extends afterwards. Nice job by the officials.
They're going to run.
Dino agrees. Correct call by the officials. Outstanding job by Dean. As always, here's Singletary.
All right, so you're going to be up 9 after this field goal.
Their second timeout. They stop the clock at 3:51.
Right, and again, you don't get it. Yeah, the Browns, your defense, they may stop them here, but how many more times do you want the Browns defense to stop? At some point, your offense has to make a play.
Giants already in field goal range. A field goal would extend the lead to 9. Dexter Lawrence and Giants defensive unit have had a huge day. 7 sacks. Forced a couple of turnovers. 2nd down and 10. Here's Singletary. Wants to cut to the outside. Anderson got to him first. And now the Browns will
Timeout.
call the 3rd timeout. 3:47 on the clock.
Maybe you get him to throw. Hopefully you can get an interception or something like that. That'd be best case scenario.
Tom Brady opened the broadcast booth. Some of you will see the 49ers, the Rams, or the Lions, and the Cardinals. Check local listings for the game in your area. America's Game of the Week. Well, during our field trip to Canton yesterday, we checked out some of the draft cards. Tom Brady drafted 199th overall by the Patriots back in 2000. And how about the 12th overall pick in 2004?
Not too bad. That was the first time I ever saw my draft card. Took a picture of that, and then, of course, me being a Hurricane, I went and found all my other Hurricanes from that year, took pictures and sent it to them.
Sent a bunch of texts.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 45-yard field goal here.
Ellen Winslow, number 6. I was 12. DJ Williams, 17. Vernon Carey, 19. And Vince Wilfork, 21. We had a good squad. Just to name a few guys. That's okay.
And your quarterback when you won the national championship is the Browns' offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey.
Man, he was great. He was so great for us. Great teammate, great leader. And it's not a surprise that he was going to go right into coaching. He's done a phenomenal job.
48-yard attempt. Greg Joseph.
Former Brown.
This week. From the left hash.
He missed it. Still alive. Still alive. Missed it. Missed it. Oh, wow.
So the Browns will take over 3 minutes to play. It's still a one-score game. They trail by 6.
No timeouts. And let's look at the snap was good. The hold. He just pushed it. Take a look again. Yeah, there was not a lot of pressure. Just pushed it.
So Greg Joseph misses his first field goal attempt as a jump.
Q, I think the Giants want a draft pick. I don't know. Well, let's try to get this score.
From their 38, no timeouts. Last caught by Cooper for a gain of 5.
Yeah, there's no secret that Deshaun Watson's going to look to Cooper first. He's going to look to Cooper last, right? If the play breaks down, he's going to see if he can find Cooper.
Browns need a touchdown. Watson to the outside.
Hesitated on it.
For Cooper with Banks defending, and that ends Watson's streak. He had completed 7 straight.
I will say this about Deontay Banks. Watching him from last year to now, he's really improved on not.
Greg Joseph doing his
So
thing.
I love the way that he's a lot more patient.
All right, let's take advantage of it,
Uses his
man.
size, uses his physicality. He just has to be careful. They start going with these outs, and then they run a double move on him.
Third down at 5.
Got it. Oh, just missed him, and now Coop's
Cooper's still
hurt.
down.
Oh, Watson missed him.
As I said, if the play starts to break down, he's going to go to wherever.
That was the design. Yeah, he steps in. Was that to Jerry Jeudy?
Cooper. Looks like he landed awkwardly, and it's really unfortunate. This is
That's
fourth
Greg
down.
Joseph, Browns fans. Remember?
In on
Appreciate the
this
super
play for
chat.
the Browns offense. Good thing he's able to get back up on his own accord. He's walking over.
All right, Deshaun.
It looked like Kenny, he was trying to make his way back to the huddle. And the trainer is a
4th and 5, no timeouts, no Amari Cooper for this play. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, you got to be on your merry little way on the sideline.
So it is 4th down at 5. 2:28 remaining.
And I can see Jerry Jeudy running an option route. Same thing he did for the 2-point conversion. And I would also look for Elijah Moore running a crossing route or something that goes across Sean Watson's face so he can hit him on stride.
They're gonna blitz here.
Browns must get to the 48. Watson throws incomplete. Intended for Tillman.
That was on target, man.
Giants could not run out the clock because of the 2-minute warning. So the Browns can technically still get the ball back.
You got to catch that. Oh, man, it's right there. That's right there. He made you catch it for him. Oh.
See the obvious frustration for Tillman.
So Cleveland out of timeouts. They can theoretically get the ball back with around 30 seconds left if they do not allow the Giants to pick up a first down. There is Singletary, and he picks up a first. Still going.
That's ball game. Yeah.
So this will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Hey, man, the defense tried like hell to keep this game close. I mean, you can't drop that ball. You can't drop that ball, man. I don't know what else to tell you. You can't drop that ball. That's the opportunity to win the game right there.
So what are all those for?
This lets me adjust the bass, add more guitar, maybe some drums.
So many choices.
Yeah, like Schwab. I can get full service wealth management.
For all this.
Yeah, you can say you can't give up 21 points to the Giants, but guys, the Browns are going to have to beat teams by scoring more than 21 points. This is the most frustrating thing about talking about the Browns struggling. Everybody wants to blame it on one thing, and they're arguing about what one thing they're blaming it on. Yeah, the Browns giving up 21 points in the first half to the Giants, not great. But guess what? You're not going to play perfect every time you get out there for a football game. Sometimes your defense is going to give up 21 fucking points. Okay? That's going to happen. It's just going to happen. The Browns gave up 39 points to Gardner Minshew in Indianapolis last year. They found a way to win it because they scored 39 points. Don't give me this. Oh, they can't give up 21 points. The Browns offense has to be able to put up more points than this. Can't just live off of just scoring 18 points. Not going to win a lot of games like that. So, yeah, defense didn't have a good day. Of course. We could talk about it. But it ain't the only reason the team lost. Wide receivers dropped like it was one problem after one problem, right? First half, Deshaun was all right, but he wasn't rising above the circumstances. And honestly, first half, the offensive line had struggles. Defense was struggling too at that same time, but it was offensive line and defensive line and defense. Okay. Third quarter, we get to the third quarter. What happens? What happens in the third quarter? Deshaun looks horrible in the third quarter. He's missing stuff. He's overthinking it. He's pressing. He looks bad in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, Watson plays great. Amari Cooper plays great. Could not get anybody to step up outside of those two. And what's even more heartbreaking is because Amari Cooper gets hurt on the missed throw down there, because he gets hurt down there, what ends up happening is that he's not on the field for 4th and 5. Because the Browns have used all their timeouts. They can't call a timeout there. Look, this game shouldn't have gotten to be this close. It shouldn't have come down to a Cedric Tillman drop. But shit's going to happen in NFL games. It's not going to go your way. You're going to have a game where you have a bunch of injuries, and it's not going to go your way, and it's not going to go well. And you got to overcome it. You got to make the plays when they're there. I'm cool on Watson at this point. Start Jameis. I don't care. I don't care who starts. Be honest with you. Quarterback's not my main concern coming off this game. Like, I have so many more concerns at quarterback right now after this game. Just to be honest with you. If you want to make it about quarterback, sure, make it about fucking quarterback. But let's not lie to ourselves here and act like quarterback is the number one concern after this game. There are multiple concerns, things that are a lot more concerning than just the quarterback position. Did Deshaun Watson play well in this one? For 3 quarters, he was not good. Fourth quarter, he was fine. He was actually pretty good in the fourth quarter. 3 quarters? No. Got outplayed by Daniel Jones for 3 quarters. Is what it is. I mean, as much as the defense struggled, they forced turnovers. They got you the ball back. They kept you in the game the whole second half. It's not good. Not good. Not good. We'll talk about it. Don't worry. We'll talk about it. Let me pull up the shit. Jerome Ford fumbling. Like, we just could not make a play outside of Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson in the fourth quarter. Could not make a play outside of those two. We'll talk about it. This is going to be a really difficult one to talk about. Hold on. This is going to be a really difficult one to talk about as far as what happened in this Browns game, because it felt like there was a different game happening every quarter in this game for the Cleveland Browns, with different problems arising every quarter in this game for the Cleveland Browns, right? You get the immediate hot start of this game where you get a fumble on a kick return that you recover, and then you get the touchdown on the first play, Deshaun Watson to Amari Cooper, and that's a huge boost to this team to start the game. After that game, until the third quarter, the defense played some of the worst football you ever seen the Cleveland Browns defense play. They were like 16 of 18 to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had 2 touchdowns. We couldn't do anything about Malik Neighbors. On the other side of the ball at the same time, the Browns' offensive line was struggling mightily against the blitz. They were not picking up things. They were not able to handle these stunts and twists well, right? Like, these became problems. Add on insult on top of injury. Joe Bitonio has to play left tackle because James Hudson goes down in this game. DeJuan Jones played an absolute stinker of a first and second quarter in this game. And then Jed Wills gets re-injured because of the bad play at tackle and guys getting ran into each other. So you have Joel playing left tackle, Ethan Posick playing left guard, at center, Nick Harris, and then at right guard, it was Zach Zinter? At right tackle, DeJuan Jones, who at some point in this game did get benched for James Hudson because he was playing that bad. DeJuan Jones was awful in this one, at least in the first 2 quarters of the game. So those two things are happening the first couple of quarters in this game. You had a hot start. Defense started hot. Offense started hot. And an immediate cool off after that. Okay, we get to the second half. Now, the offensive line isn't that bad in the second half. I mean, in the third half, not the third half, third quarter of this game, right? I think the offensive line was fine. The defense was good in the third quarter of this game. But unfortunately, the offense was extremely unproductive in the third quarter and continued the trend that they had in the first 2 quarters, right? If you look at the Browns to start this game, right, they got the 1 touchdown drive, 24 yards to start the game because of the fumble. But they went punt, 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 punt. Oh, fumble. My bad. Fumble. DeJuan Jones got beat on a play. Ended up being a fumble. And then end of half, they took a knee. And then they went punt, miss field goal, punt, punt. That's what was going on. They did score a touchdown, I believe, in the fourth quarter of this game. Yes, the fourth quarter of this game. But up until the third quarter, the offense was non-existent. Now, in the first half of this game, I felt like the offense was non-existent because the run game was non-existent and the pressure was just too much. It didn't feel like it was a bad game from Watson in the first and second quarter. Where it started to feel like a bad game from Deshaun Watson was in the third quarter. Because Deshaun Watson in the third quarter of this game was awful in the third quarter, right? The Browns had -2 yards on a drive. After that, 10 yards on a drive. So they're at, 7 net yards. And then their best drive of the third quarter was 29 yards, 9 plays, and a punt. And then another 29-yard, 9-play punt drive. He was bad And I thought there were opportunities for him to take advantage of that he missed in the third quarter. But the fourth quarter, Deshaun Watson played, I would say, very well in this game. Just other things decided to go wrong around Deshaun Watson. So in the fourth quarter, we just saw this. Deshaun's making plays. Amari Cooper's making plays. You know, the Browns get down the field. They score a touchdown. They even get the extra point, the 2-point conversion to bring this in within 6. So the Browns are in pole position to start the fourth quarter with like 13 minutes left to take this game back. The defense has been holding strong all game up until this point. The Browns get the ball back. The defense gets another 3 and out. Offense gets the ball, again, only down 6. They get to midfield. They're moving the ball again. Deshaun's making plays. They're moving the ball. Jerome Ford fumbles the snap. Jerome Ford fumbles the snap for no reason. It was right in his chest, clean handoff. He fumbles the snap. Huge missed opportunity for turn a drive that you could have at least got points out of, right? If you just get 1 more, 2 more plays, to a drive where you get nothing. So Jerome Ford fumbles. That's the first one, right? I know a lot of people are going to pin this on Cedric Tillman dropping that pass, but Jerome Ford fumbles. That's the first huge mistake in this game in the fourth quarter. Okay. Defense actually holds up. They get the drive starts at the 50-yard line. The defense holds up, forces a punt. Very difficult to do. They force a punt. Game's still alive. The Browns get the ball back, and they go out 4 plays on downs. Could not get a 3rd and 1 with Jameis Winston on the QB sneak. They go for it on 4th and 1. And Deshaun Watson, and I think on the film review, we're going to see Deshaun Watson missed Jordan Atkins wide open on the RPO and instead tried to run it himself to get the 1 yard, and that was a mistake. So Deshaun Watson, second mistake of the game in the fourth quarter that led to the Browns not winning this game. Goes out on downs, gives a field goal opportunity to the New York Giants, 48-yard field goal. Defense holds up, though. Don't let it be any closer than a 48-yard field goal. Because the Giants, I believe, on the next drive when the Browns went out on drives. Yeah, so the Browns go out on downs. They give the ball up at the Cleveland 29, but the Browns defense only doesn't allow a yard. They actually get a negative yard on that play and force a long field goal. And Greg Joseph misses the field goal. Browns still miraculously in this game. They get the ball again, and 3rd and 4, Deshaun has Amari Cooper open, and either Amari jumped too early or this ball was a little high from Deshaun Watson. We'll figure out when we look at the all 22, but you don't make a play that looked like it could have been there for Amari Cooper. I think the throw was a little bit off, but I might look at that in film and realize that Amari just jumped early. But either way, something goes wrong between the two here. You missed that opportunity. 4th and 5. Also on that 3rd down play, Amari Cooper goes down. He gets like a stinger. He ends up being fine, but he gets a stinger. And because they had to call an injury timeout and the Browns have no timeouts at this point, Amari Cooper can't come on the field for 4th and 5. There's no way you can get him on the field. So the Browns run a play call that they would have ran for Amari Cooper. It's a slant. They run it all the time in this situation. Cedric Tillman's open. The ball is perfectly in Cedric Tillman's chest, and Cedric Tillman doesn't catch the ball. You could blame one person. You could blame one thing, and you'd be technically right, but you'd be wrong in the bigger picture. What went wrong in that game in the fourth quarter? They couldn't make the play to win the game offensively. Deshaun couldn't make the play to win the game. When Deshaun made the play to win the game, Cedric Tillman couldn't make the play to win the game. When Amari Cooper gets open to help you win the game, Deshaun can't get the ball there to him. Jerome Ford can't hold on to the football. The Browns absolutely refused to win this game from an offensive standpoint. Because at least as much complaining as we could do about the defense giving up 21 points, they stopped the bleeding in the second half. They took care of the problem in the second half. We can complain about 21 points to the New York Giants. That stinks, that sucks, all of that. And that's true. I'd agree with you. But the Browns are going to have to score more than 20 points at some point to win a football game. You're not going to win every game by like scoring 18 points. You got to score over 20 points at some point. So yeah, the defense shouldn't have gave up 20, but you got to score the points. You got to score the points. You got to take the opportunities there. So yeah, defensively, not their best outing, but the offense had so many opportunities to win this game. And Jerome Ford at one point didn't make that play. At one point, it was Deshaun Watson. Hell, at one point, it was Jameis Winston that didn't make the play to win the game. At one point, it was Amari Cooper. At one point, it's Cedric Tillman. It's the offense didn't make the plays to win the game. The opportunities were there. The offense did not capitalize on this game. That's my overall view of it, right? This all on the offense because you got to make those plays. At home, you got to make those plays. You cannot get – how many drives did the Browns get only down 6 points offensively? The Browns got 1, 2, 3 times to take the lead in this game. 3 drives to take the lead in this game. 5-play, 34-yard drive, ended in a fumble, Jerome Ford. 4-play, 9-yard drive that ended on downs. And another 4-play, 6-yard drive that ended on downs. The Browns did not have a single scoring drive in this game that started from the 20. Now, we're going to have some tough conversations about some players here. Thought Amari Cooper played well in this one. Didn't get a ton of separation, but Amari Cooper, unless it's schematic, is not going to get a ton of separation. I mean, he wasn't doing that last year. So, not really tripping off Amari Cooper's performance. 7 receptions, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. I feel like if I'm blaming him solely for this game, I'm pointing my finger in the wrong direction. The run game was really disappointing today. 18 carries, 69 yards. In the second half, it got going. In the first half, I believe Jerome Ford had 7 carries for 7 yards. So in the second half, it really got going a little bit better. I think Deshaun added to that too. But the first half, this was really disappointing. The offensive line looked better post-injuries than they did before the injury, so that's a concern. The Browns really want to play a lot of empty this year. I think they got to rethink that. I don't think they're going to be able to get away with that amount of empty. And it was obvious today in the first 2 quarters, they just can't get away with that amount of empty. They're not good enough. So that's another problem that they have to deal with. It's a lot of places you can place some blame here. I think offensively, what concerns me about this game? I would be a little bit concerned about Deshaun. He didn't play awful, right? 21 of 37, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns. You can flip that into a decent game for him. It's not an awful game. It's like, 60-something% passing or somewhere above 50% passing, 196 yards. It's not a good game. Nobody's going to define it as a good game, but it's not a bad game. It's just a very mid game. Where I am concerned about Deshaun is it seems like, for whatever reason, the fourth quarter is the only time he can look like his old self. And another thing to be concerned about is, we talked about this before this game, what you're going to see from New York is a lot of different coverages that you did not see against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know there's some people in the audience who would like to ignore the fact that that Dallas game happened, but it did. And that Dallas game raises a lot of concerns. Because what Dallas did was mix up their coverages a lot. And that seemed to confuse Deshaun. What New York did was mix up their coverages a lot. And it seemed to confuse Deshaun. It doesn't feel like the issues in week 1 are just going to be isolated to week 1. I feel like the issues from week 1 are showing more evidence of being apparent when it comes to what Deshaun is struggling against, man. It's a real concern. It is a real concern that has happened again. Again, he didn't have a bad game. I'm not saying bench Deshaun Watson because of this performance. It's unacceptable. He got sacked 8 times. It's not a horrible game. right? Offensive line obviously didn't help him out in the first 2 quarters of this game. I thought third quarter from him was actually legitimately bad. And we'll see what the film says in the fourth quarter, but I think we could walk away from that feeling a lot worse about the fourth quarter, given what those last 2 drives look like from him. And the opportunities that seem like they were there that could have been on the throw, could have been on how Amari Cooper attacked the passes. Still, man, and this is where I have to address that the bar, we're so lost with where the bar should be with Deshaun. But the bar's got to be higher than this. If we're like, oh, this is good, this is what we expected from Deshaun, that tells us we're in a bad, dark place. Because we should expect Deshaun Watson to be able to make some of those plays, especially when he has 3 stabs at it to win the game. Like, we should expect him to be able to do that. It's what you traded him to do. And he just wasn't able to do it in this game for whatever reason. You could blame it on Cedric Tillman because that was a drop that one time, but there was a throw right before that where Deshaun could have probably made a better throw. There was the 4th and 1 situation where he probably could have made a better decision on 4th down instead of trying to run it himself and they get off the field. Like, mistakes were made in that 4th quarter, and some of those mistakes were on the quarterback position, and you expect him to be better. So I can't walk away from this thinking, oh, man, I got nothing to worry about at quarterback. Like, that's ridiculous. I got stuff to worry about with the offensive line, of course. You got stuff to worry about with the defense, of course. But you got a lot of stuff to worry about with the offense, too. Let's talk about the defense here, man. I don't know what's going on with the defense. But for whatever reason, they seem unable to stop screens going left and right. I know the jokes are about the jet sweeps. The jet sweeps ain't been killing them. Screens, though, screens been killing them left and right. Can't do anything about it. Teams are getting all the way past the numbers, throwing these screens against the Browns defense, and getting a ton of space. That's a Jim Schwartz problem. He has to fix that. Myles Garrett, I expect more from him in a game like this. Myles Garrett didn't get a sack, which isn't everything, but from a pressure standpoint, I don't think he was there as much as you would expect Myles Garrett to be there. He got 3 quarterback hits, so maybe the pressure numbers would be there for him. But I just didn't feel Myles' presence in this game. Myles hasn't had the hot start to the season we hoped he would have. He's Myles Garrett, so you know he'll be better if he gets healthier. But still, you want a better start to the year than this for Myles. Thought Martin Emerson had a really forgetful first half here. He was getting picked on by Malik Neighbors. They ended up just having to give up and put Denzel Ward on Malik Neighbors to stop it. And to Jim Schwartz's credit, that was the adjustment that pretty much ended the scoring for the New York Giants. So while I'm not pushing the red button on the defense, I am a little bit concerned about this. This is a concerning performance from the defense. Offensively, it's concerning, and it's starting to make me feel like some of these issues the offense has, they might just have. Some of the issues might be Deshaun Watson. It doesn't feel like that's off the table to me. I know some people might feel otherwise, but I don't watch that game and think, oh, man, this is a quarterback not being lifted up by everything else around him and being dragged down. I watch that game and think, man, this offense stinks and the quarterback's not much better. Like at best, you could say he's a bystander at this point. It's not what you're paying Deshaun Watson to be a bystander. Sometimes I wonder if he's actively a part of the problem. Some of those sacks were Deshaun Watson's fault. There's a lot to clean up, man. You lost to the Giants. There's no pretty way to talk about this. You lost to the freaking Giants. They're not good. You let Daniel Jones come in here and have a career day. It's not good. Let Malik Neighbors break a rookie record against an elite defense. It's not good. The only thing positive I could say about it is that it's an NFC loss. And that if you're in playoff conversations, the NFC losses are the ones that mean the least. So at least your 2 losses are against NFC opponents. But does this make me feel confident about this team going into Las Vegas? No. Does this make me feel confident about this team going into even the Commanders? No. I don't feel confident about the Browns' ability to beat anybody because I don't feel confident in what team's going to show up week to week. This effort for most of the game was just completely lethargic. I don't know what's going on there. Like, it seems like they play worse at home. Like, I'm almost looking forward to the Browns getting on the road here. Because if they get on the road, feel like they're away from the fan base, and maybe that's better for them. Maybe they don't need to be at home. Maybe something's going wrong here. Maybe we're going to talk about the Browns' home defense being bad this year instead of the road defense. Who knows? Look, the Browns clearly aren't playing their best football right now. And that's something we've all pointed out, that the Browns are going to play probably the worst football of the year early in the season. That's fine. But it's got to get way better than this. It's got to get starkly better than this. Offensively, this just is not acceptable. Like, yeah, it stinks the defense scored 21, but like, man, you can't score 25. As much as we're paying that offensive line and Amari Cooper and everything else there, we can't score 25. As much as we're paying the quarterback, we can't get 25 points out this offense. And if you can't get 25 points out this offense, then you got to consider making changes. Can't continue, man. Can't continue. We'll see what happens next week. But this one, a bad break at the end of it, sure. But, man, the Browns had so many opportunities to put this game in their hands. And they just, nobody on that offense made the plays to make it happen. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. This was absolutely a game the Browns could have won, should have won. Even the way it played out, right? Even if you take the whole first half into consideration, even the way it played out, still should have won this game. You really should have won this game. This one's going to sting, man. This one's going to sting, and this one stinks. The Browns should have won this game. Even if they win this game, you got questions. But they should have won this game. Now they're 1-2. They go and play the Raiders, who've played some good football lately. But, you know, they're just as up and down as you. And at some point here, the Cleveland Browns are going to have to prove to everybody again that they're a good football team. Because what we've seen these last 3 weeks haven't felt like a good football team. This hasn't felt like an 11-win team from last year. This feels like a bad team right now, and they got to play better football because this is just unacceptable. But that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace. All right, we're going to get to your super chats here just in case I missed any of them. And then I'm going to head out here. Nelson Gonzalez says, I'm so disappointed in this offense. DW will play the rest of the year, but we need to start planning for what we're going to do at QB unless DW plays extremely well by the end of the year. Stay grinding. Yeah, if you continue to look like this offensively, all options are going to be on the board. And look, if the offense can't get more than 20 points, and we're talking about week 8, like benching Deshaun Watson's on the table, man. Sneakerhead says teams with good pass rush and Alpha X equals kryptonite. Alpha X receiver. Yeah, I don't think there's been a consistent use of that, right? Because the Giants didn't score in the second half. If the Giants continued to score in the second half at the same clip at the first half, then I would be listening to you about some kryptonite for this defense. But the fact is, the Giants got those 21 points. The Browns put Denzel Ward on Malik Neighbors, and we heard nothing from their offense for the rest of the game. John Noe says, go Tribe or Guardians. Liam Harris says, Kevin has to see the deficiencies in practice. Can't understand how they rolled this game plan out there. Failed also. Don't get me wrong, Q. Sad. Players failed also. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a shining day for the coaching staff either, so I agree with you. Mighty says it's a kid Thrash ready to step up. I mean, I can't imagine it's better than what their starters are doing right now. Miss David Bell on key downs, the factor. NWBQ Asante says. And look, I'm going to just be honest with y'all right here. The fact that we're talking about missing David Bell, it's part of the problem, man. Not saying you saying that you miss David Bell is part of the problem. I'm saying the fact that we even noticed that David Bell ain't in there tells you how bad some of the wide receiver play has been outside of like Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper this year. Sly says, hopefully this is just an NFC East at home thing. Maybe. But, man, they're going to have to put some evidence out there before I could believe that. I'm concerned. Kevin says, let's not overreact here. Nick will be back. A threat will be alleviate a bit of the issues. Not saying he's a savior, but the threat will help. Yeah, look, Kevin, I do think Nick Chubb's going to help. And I'm not saying this team's going to win like 2 games this year, right? But even if Nick Chubb comes out and help, you're talking about a team that can win 8 or 9 games. You're not talking about a team that can win 11 games right now. Like, the quarterback play just has to be better. The offense has to be better than this outside of Nick Chubb if you want to win 11 games. That's just simple. That's just simple here. And I don't care how the quarterback play gets better. I don't care who it is that's playing better. But we can't think that 21 points is some insurmountable amount of points that the Browns can't score, man. Like, that can't be the case. Next week is a must-win. Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like it. But look, man, whatever's going on with this Browns team, whatever's going on with this defense and this offense, they got to figure this shit out within the next 3 weeks. Like, I need to feel so much better about this defense coming into the next 3 weeks than I do right now. The Browns got a lot of work to do, right? They get the Raiders and they get the Commanders. So they get those 2 games. And look, you could play up or down. You might be able to beat one of those 2 teams or both of them by just scoring 18 points or whatever it is and struggling offensively. But after that, you play the Eagles, you play the Bengals, you play the Ravens, you play the Chargers, you play the Saints, you play the Steelers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. 3 of them at home. And honestly, I'm worried about the home games. Whatever is going on with this offense, whatever is going on with this offensive line, has a minimum 3 weeks to get fixed. We got to start feeling a lot better about the quarterback position in 3 weeks. We got to start feeling a lot better about the offensive line in 3 weeks. They got 3 weeks. Because if they look like this and limp into Cincinnati and limp into Baltimore and limp into the Chargers and limp in against the Saints, we're going to be talking about a team with an abysmal record by the end of that stretch. They got to figure this out. They got 3 weeks, but they got to figure this out in the next 3 weeks. Liam says, what have we lost to regress this much? Bill, Flacco, Chubb, line health? I don't know. I mean, they were winning games. They look better than this. They look offensively better than this with P.J. Walker at times. Not saying Deshaun's playing worse than P.J. Walker did. But offensively, they didn't look this drab at times. Deshaun last year the offense didn't feel like this. But this 2 times, I'm concerned. How could you not be concerned? But yeah, man, it's a concerning next 3 weeks. Concerning next 3 weeks. You really need to see some questions get answered in the next 3 weeks. And I'm not saying the Raiders are an easy dub or that the Commanders are an easy dub or even the Eagles are an easy dub. I'm just saying 2 of those are NFC opponents. So if you lose to them, it's not as big as a deal as losing to your divisional opponent. And 2 of them are against teams that are at least playing at the same level of football that you are. So if you play a bad game, they're not going to destroy you because you're playing a bad game. You're going to be able to get away with it. Similar to how we almost got away with it with the Giants. This is looking like we will be talking about coaching staff changes being a mistake. Nothing to the Giants or Dorsey. Hey, man, I don't think it's on Dorsey. This don't feel like it's on Dorsey. Feels like a couple of key players have regressed. A couple of key players on the offensive line are showing their age. This feels like you're getting older, man. It's really what it feels like. The team's getting older. It's starting to show. Doesn't feel schematic to me. I don't watch this team and befuddled about what they're doing from a schematic standpoint. But again, you got this road trip, right? The Raiders, the Commanders, the Eagles. If you come out that road trip 2-1 and you feel a lot better about this team at the end of those 3 weeks, we'll see what the season turns out to be. But boy, if you limp through that road trip and it don't look like nothing's changed by the time you play Cincinnati, season can be in a real dark place real fast. So they got to fix whatever they got going on these next 3 weeks at the minimum. They really got 2 weeks because Philadelphia is good and you're playing against Saquon Barkley and he's playing really good football right now. But you got that. You got this road trip. You got to figure it out. They got to look better than this offensively. They absolutely do. We'll see. It's my thoughts. Y'all have a good one. I'll be talking about this more.